right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 52. Oh, and we got a full house with us tonight. I made the trip down at my brother's in Missouri. Been sitting all day. I might be standing up half the show and sitting down the other half. I don't know. My ass is killing me after that long drive, but I digress. Tony, how you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, could be worse. It's been a long fucking week, but hey, I finally made it down to the basement for once, and about to have me a nice glass of scotch to celebrate that.
Nice. What kind of scotch?
Tonight I am having Balvenie 14 Caribbean cask. Very smooth, very, very exotic, if you will. Very nice scotch.
Sounds sexy. Phil?
It is.
Welcome, one and all, to the Dog and Chicken Show Extreme Edition. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, as we are here for episode 52. We have a full cast this evening. Chicken has made it all the way. He has driven 9 long hours to be reunited with his kindred, to be reunited with his brother, and they are here this evening. Tony G is actually able to join us this evening, which is always a treat. And we have the returning Tom. But before you do any of that, like, share, subscribe, Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe, KOE Nation. Like, share, subscribe, Tomfoolery Show over here, folks. Come on. You know it's the right thing to do. And is it just my ear? Will liking this show make your day just a little bit better?
It's already made my day better.
Yeah.
Tom, say hi to the folks.
What's up, guys? I appreciate you having me back on. If you haven't seen me before, my name's Tom. I'm from the Tomfoolery Podcast and the Tomfoolery Show. You can find me on all podcast platforms, including YouTube and Facebook, where I do live streaming similar to this show, but I more get into politics, philosophy, ethics, stuff like that. But I appreciate you guys having me back on.
You know, Tom, we share a lot of the same topics between the two shows, except for yours is a little bit more on the serious side, while we kind of get drunk and be silly with everything. So it's always nice to have I don't know. I jumped on your show last night. I'll be sharing that here shortly on Big Buckin'. But it's nice to have a sobering conversation sometimes. It's not all just fun and games here at the Dog and Chicken Show. Sometimes we get real.
Yeah, you guys are a lot more fun than me. But today I am going to be drinking with you guys. So,
what are you drinking this evening?
I brought the 1800 tequila.
Hey,
So-
nice. Now, Chicken, I have to take umbrage with something that you said, because everybody in this audience knows that every single word and syllable that falls out of the King of Extreme's mouth is the pure, unadulterated, absolute, distilled truth. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying there, Chicken, but
I didn't say it wasn't true. I just said
well, thank you. I mean, the idea that's come on. I mean, this is the face of not only devilish handsomeness, but unadulterated truth. Everything you hear me say is the 100% absolute truth, except the few lies I tell.
Except for
that's
after
one of my
all that,
favorite intros. That's one of my favorite intros to a book.
We're almost 5 minutes in, and is anybody still watching at this point?
Are you kidding?
Nope.
The droves of people in the KOE Nation are just like, oh, thank you. Phil KOE is entertaining us. What are you drinking there tonight?
We're going to crack this bad boy open. It's an Alpha Lure 18 year. This stuff looks sexy. It sounded sexy. We just got to try it. So that'll be later on in the show. First topic,
All
though.
right.
We titled the show Summer of Love. Anybody have an idea why?
Well, I'm
Because-
guessing. This is a total guess, but it's probably because everybody's so cordial and loving their fellow man, and there's no problems in the world, and like everybody gets along, and it just things couldn't be better, right? Like I think basically like this is the perfect year, top to bottom.
Hashtag
right?
2020. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, baby.
Hashtag.
The year of love
Am I-
is
am I
what
close?
it'll go down as.
You're on a track. It's not the right one, but you're on a track.
I'll give you that.
Well, before we
You
The
might be
year
on the
before-
right track.
before
You're
you
just driving
reveal-
backwards. Go ahead.
Before you reveal, I did want to mention the drinking game tonight. We have my
Oh,
kids
yes. How could I
interrupting.
forget?
Bring
Of
it.
course.
I don't know, honestly. My kids interrupting, of course. Trump, mask, and freedom. So this ought to be fun.
Oh,
So you
And
can
I
pop
know
up
it's chicken,
that,
especially.
Yeah, I know,
Sorry.
right? Are you
Chicken
gonna pop up
especially loves
that,
it when people talk about masks.
there it is. First one, drink.
Dang it.
I'm almost out already.
Thanks,
We
Tom.
can't share that
God.
we can't share that meme from what movie was that with Mel Gibson painting his face blue? Braveheart?
Yep, Braveheart. There you go.
Yeah. Who sent that
Good
meme
one.
today? Was that UT?
I sent
That's
you
Phil.
that one. Yeah, actually, put
Yeah,
that
okay,
one up
that's
on the
Phil.
screen. That was pretty funny. Put that one up sometime. But
We'll get to memes.
But oh man. So the summer of love. I'm assuming it's because, like Tony said, everyone's getting along so well. Things have been so lovely. This is big, or maybe it's because this is a lot like the '60s all over again. I don't know. Take your pick here, folks. But that's
Like
Tom-
the 1660s?
no, like the 1960s all over again.
Oh,
And that's
gotcha.
yeah, the 60. We're gonna party like it's 1669. Like, whoa, what is this, Amish paradise? No. But yeah, this is. It does kind of have the flavor of the 1960s all over again. You know, there's riots in the streets, there's unrest, there's protests going on, there's media making mountains
Not
out of
if you ask
molehills.
Jerry Nadler.
Well, you wouldn't be able to ask Jerry Nadler anything because that fucker wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise anyway. So what would be the point of even having a conversation? Like, Tom, you were covering a little bit of that Bill Barr hearing, or we're trying to jump between a couple of videos. I was actually watching it for a bit, and I knew you were on an old one. Was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is Kamala without the new face. What the, wait. Yeah, let's be frank. It appears, allegedly, Kamala Harris had some work done from her last, we'll see. The swelling's got to go down yet. Maybe she'll look better. We'll find out. But
Anyway,
that one,
we're all
the-
over the place already.
oh yeah, but the Barr hearing that we had the other day, you know, I'm wondering why Barr even bothered to just say anything. Why he didn't just like put his hands behind his head like this, put his feet up on the desk. They weren't there to ask him any questions. They were just there to filibuster and point their finger at him. So I would have just been like, you know, just like, all right, I'm gonna play Candy Crush on my phone. If you guys actually have a question you'd like to ask me, let me know. But until then, I'll be right here in Candy Crush. All right. Yeah, Nadler, blah 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 blah. Orange Man bad. Yeah, I get it. Okay. Yep. That'd have been me. That entire ridiculous circus. But that's what I.
Tom playing on his phone. How's that Candy Crush game
I
going,
like
Tom?
Candy Crush too. Yeah,
I mean, well, yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, but
I haven't played Candy Crush in probably 3 years.
I'm
I was
more
about
of
to
a
say.
Clash Royale kind of guy.
I was about to say anytime
There you go.
Anytime Tony tries to pull out his phone and gets like 3 seconds of Candy Crush, and one of his other kids, Candy Crush, and that's pretty much it.
No, they like to watch YouTube. You think they'd be watching our show, but they're not. They're a little young.
Yeah, that's probably
Jeez, Tony, what? So, but yeah.
So
Tom,
anyway, Summer of Love.
Yeah.
That's where we
Let
started.
Chicken-
Never
let
went
Chicken
anywhere.
talk. Jesus.
Jesus.
And we're only
Jesus.
10 minutes in. We've almost addressed the topic.
So it got brought up today. I'll just skip right to the point. If you didn't notice, Trump started drink, by the way. He started up his daily briefings. In today's briefing, they asked him about the federal officers in Portland. Now, we've all heard the narrative that's being pushed out there is I've heard the wording like so weird and strange of like ununiformed. Apparently they're not wearing clothes now in unmarked vehicles, which is nothing new. Arresting peaceful protesters, which if like we said with Jerry Nadler, that's everybody, no matter what weapons you're throwing, or bombs you're blowing up, whatever it may be. But anyway, so they're complaining that federal officers are arresting the protesters in quotation marks. And so they finally had a meeting, and now Trump, the mayor, and the governor had to come to kind of an understanding of, okay, we'll pull out the federal troops, but you got like 48, 72 hours to clean your city up and let your state police take over and actually protect the federal building and protect your streets because you're not doing it. So when you show us you can do that, we'll pull them back. So they asked him about that today. And he flat out said, if they do not, in the next 2 days, do this, he is going to send in the National Guard. Now, he's made this threat several times.
Who said that?
POTUS did.
Orange Man.
Orange Man
Ah,
did. Yeah, okay, Trump, here, drink.
dang it.
He was waiting for it. So that's kind of where I wanted to open this up. Does anybody here actually think he would do it? Let's start with Lynn. Lynn's been pretty quiet and sitting right next to me because I'm loud.
Jude's on point with saying things and actually doing what he says. So I'm going to say yeah.
Okay, we got a vote for a yeah. Phil, what do you think?
Will Trump send in the National Guard? Which specific city are we talking about?
This is Portland.
Okay, because
where they've had unrest for 60 plus straight
because this
days.
virus is starting to spread place to place, so I want to be very specific. Do I think he will send in the National Guard? Whew, boy. Unfortunately,
Now, he himself, like I can almost quote it. In 48 hours, if they don't have it under control, I will send in National Guard and they will take over.
well, that word "will" kind of decides it now, doesn't it? It's, boy, Portland, I'd get your shit cleaned up in the next few hours. Whoa, National Guard's coming otherwise, and this is an election year, so you know he means every syllable of it. You know every syllable that falls out of it. I will send in the goddamn National Guard. They will have the best weapons. They will have the best gear. It will be the best crushing of an insurrection, and we will make Mexico pay for it. No, I'm kidding.
there you go.
Tom, what's your thoughts on all this? Do
Yeah.
you think the National Guard is going into Portland?
Yeah, he's already done it in other cities, other states. He sent them to Washington. He sent them to Seattle. And I mean, if I can add to this question, is this okay? I mean, when it comes to coronavirus, when it comes to wearing masks, when it comes to everything else, we want to say, hey, we'll leave it up to the state leaders. We'll leave it up to the governors. But
damn it.
But when it comes to rioting and protesting, now he needs to send in the military. Now it's his job to take over. I think if the city's okay with it, if the state's okay with it, let them do their thing, man.
Okay, Tony, what are your thoughts?
I think there's zero doubt that they'll end up showing up. I think the National Guard absolutely will show up. Now, to what degree and what form of force will they showcase upon the city? That I don't know. I think it's probably going to be to the extent of they show up, they make their presence known, and they mostly just walk around and show, hey, we're here. And they're probably going to be pretty handcuffed. Behind the scenes, they're being told, hey, you're not really here to do anything. We're just flexing muscle, because that's essentially what this is. And it's not out of the realm of possibility, because if that's kind of his job. Like, hey, you have a big problem, the local law enforcement's not taking care of it, you bring in bigger guns, right? You bring in bigger force. So, yeah, I think they absolutely will, but I think it's mostly just a muscle flex. I don't think it's going to be really a show of force.
So
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, Tom referenced he's already brought in like a form in the National Guard. He has brought in federal agents, but most of them are, Department of Homeland Security officers, and they're just protecting federal buildings and federal courts and things as such. Now, as far as a full-on, like when you say you're going to bring in the National Guard, so I guess the question I was originally posing is, like Tony said, at what level is this? Tanks and like full on holy shit martial law type, or is this just going to be where we have armed and in uniform military standing around the courthouse to scare the shit out of them? I think I think Tony might have nailed it. It's going to be, I don't know which one it'll be though. Like, honestly,
or
We'll
random
have to
unmarked
tune in
vans
48
pulling
hours.
in and kidnapping people.
oh my God, you've been watching CNN. You should have made that a drinking word tonight. But sorry, Phil, go ahead.
Now, to Tom's earlier question, is that okay? Well, Tom, let me pose this question to you. Let's assume you're POTUS Tom. Tomfoolery is president of the United States. I know. Anybody on this podcast,
Congrats, Tom.
basically a shoo-in for 2024. Pretty much any one of us on this podcast. So yeah,
Not hard to imagine.
Exactly. So POTUS Tom, and you are now the president of the United States, and unrest has broken out in pick your city in the United States. Doesn't really matter which one. The local law enforcement is being held back. And American citizens you swore an oath to protect are now under great serious danger, and their local governments are not doing anything about it. Would you feel, as President Tom, an obligation to do everything within your power to secure the safety of those citizens? That's my question to you, sir.
As your president, I do believe in state rights. And in my address to my people, I would tell them, I believe in states' rights. I believe that the people should be free to do as they wish. And I definitely believe in the First Amendment and for you guys all to go out and have your freedom of speech. And if your problem is with the government in your area, then I don't want you burning down mom and pop's, burger restaurant or the barber. I want you to focus your energy on the exact enemy that you think is the issue. So leave them alone. If the problem is the police departments, if the problem is the government, then maybe you should focus on your local government.
So burn down the police department? Is that what you were trying to say, Mr. President? Because that's the gotcha media getting right back at you. Oh, President Tom, he wants to fucking burn down every federal building in the city.
So President Tom
is a
we have a
revolutionary.
comment. Yes, and Tom, President Tom has a comment there. Supreme Court says the police have no duty to protect. What are your thoughts on that?
I haven't seen that one, so I'd have to look into that a little bit more before commenting on this. But
it's a case I'm actually quite familiar with. It was a woman who basically sued her local police department because they weren't there to protect her soon enough when a restraining order had been put. And so it's like, I had this restraining order against my ex-husband. You have a duty to protect me. and the case went all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court decided that the police are under no legal obligation to protect you. They are not there to protect you. That's not their purpose, is to be the personal bodyguard of every person. So really, you are responsible for your own security, unfortunately. That is you are responsible for you and yours, is what the Supreme Court basically handed down with that decision. So that was, God, I can't remember the name of the case, but yeah, the police are under no obligation to protect you.
It's fascinating. And so Brendan Roy, appreciate the comment. That was Dad's Worldwide. If you haven't heard that show, I actually listened to it in my 9-hour drive today, a couple of episodes. Really good show. You can find them on most podcast sites as well. That's Dad's Worldwide, I believe, is the title of it. But I downloaded.
Drop the link, Dad's Worldwide. We'll pop it up on the screen.
All right, sounds good. I'll throw it in there.
But
Anyway.
So like Lynn said, but President Tom, you evil rapscallion ne'er-do-well, red tie man bad, don't you know?
Yeah,
so
red
what you're
tie man
saying
bad.
is that you're okay with entire cities being burnt to the ground. You're okay with, imagine every horrible words about death and destruction, and I'm going to associate them with you now and now defend that, sir. That's kind of the media nowadays. So if you take one side, one or the other, it's like, oh, you want people to die, apparently. So it's so I understand your perspective, states' rights. I would just posit that there are people whose security is not being secured by the government that has, they've been paying taxes into. They aren't being secure. Their property's being looted and destroyed. And their local governments aren't doing anything about it. So just something, check this place out. dadssww.com. Yes, check this place out. And thanks for swinging by.
Anytime. Yeah, honestly, they do have a pretty entertaining show, especially for the males of the audience. You hear a lot of good banter, about dads' lives and
The dads, huh?
yeah, it's a good dad show. I enjoy it.
Hey, as a dad, I think I'm gonna have to give that a listen to.
Yeah, they were talking about a percentage of how dads have a better. Or the percentage of dads who perceive time with their kids as more fun is higher than moms, which I found fascinating. It wasn't a huge difference, but yeah, there's a little banter and a little fun in there. Sorry, moms, but dads are more fun sometimes. But sorry. All right, we'll move on.
It's true.
It's true. Yes. And now everybody's got to do it. So either they bring in heavily armed military or they don't. Chances. Let's wrap this topic up. What are the chances that Portland gets their shit together in the next 48 hours after we watched the governor or the mayor of Portland actually, and this was actually funny. If you didn't see it on the news, he went out with the protesters. They got pissed at him, started throwing shit at him, and started calling for his resignation. And the dude got heckled so bad. Lynn, I don't know if you saw any of that on the news, but
Missed out.
oh God. So he goes out there to try to virtue signal in the worst thing you could do in when you're trying to virtue signal is not know your audience. And obviously the protesters in Portland do not like him. So virtue signaling to people that don't like you does not ever end up good. But then he tried to complain that supposedly the police had actually tear gassed him. I'm like, dude, like you went to a protest that has sparked riots for over 60 days and they keep getting tear gassed. Like you knew that was going to happen. Come the fuck on. Like you know what you're getting into when you do these things. Tom, do you see any of that?
Yeah, it's really weird when you try to go out in solidarity with all of the other people and say, hey, I'm one of you. I'm with you. I'm here protesting with you, with my group of 20 bodyguards around me. And as soon as you all get mad at me and you don't like me anymore, I'm going to walk straight into, they're all going to clear a path for me to walk into this government building where none of you can touch me now. It's, solidarity. Great.
Yeah. Is that what you would do as POTUS?
No, I don't like that president. Ultra white man bad. I don't agree with any of that president. Anything that president had to say. Okay.
Wow, Tom, you're such a centrist. You oppose yourself as president?
I like Tom on Tequila. This is fun.
Hey, no. You know what? No,
Change
fuck
his
that.
name
That's a
to
platform
Tequila
I can get
Tom.
behind. Fuck that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a platform I can get behind. A president that's honest enough about his own policies that, you know what? I'm totally full of shit. I don't even approve myself. My approval rating in my own bedroom is pretty fucking low. So you don't vote for me. You know what? That guy's going to win in a landslide. Okay?
At the
'Cause
end
who
of
can't
every
relate to that?
commercial, I do not approve this message.
There you go.
President Humble right there. No, what'd you call him, Lynn?
Tequila Tom.
Yes.
Hey,
I like it.
I like
it.
it.
Ah,
1800. And he's drinking the clear stuff even. I
Nice.
think I like the clear better than the gold.
yeah, I like Blanco better than Reposado of anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm drinking that Marvelous Maker's Mark this evening,
Oh,
T.
That's good
Yeah.
shit, man. That is
Store
really good
pick
shit.
bourbon.
Switched off the crown.
Yeah, Lynn jumped over. He's trying Jura for the first time. What do you think?
It's pretty damn good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
let's get a-
I'm
Let's get a.
Getting fancy.
definitely a fan.
Yep.
What's it taste
we
like,
got
Lynn?
We got that Jura
Tastes like
superstition.
scotch.
I knew that was going to be the
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not the type of motherfucker who like sticks my nose in there and goes, "Oh, I can taste a little bit." No, it tastes like fucking scotch, and it tastes pretty good.
I tell you what,
You
I
drink
was in the
enough
same boat as-
scotch.
Yeah. I was in the same boat as Lynn. And then you guys made me sit down and do that first flight. And I remember telling you guys as we're doing it, I'm like, oh, I feel like a pretentious prick right now. Like, this is stupid. This isn't me. And I was like, oh my God, I can taste it. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I get
Yeah.
I need to get Lynn
Eventually.
a flight.
I still haven't
Yes.
figured out the whole like whistle pig fucking better than everything in the
I have
world.
yet to find one I care for.
But hey,
I was
hey,
like, man, I was expecting greatness, and I was like, I paid $80, and it tastes like rye whiskey. It didn't taste like
Didn't taste like
it
scotch.
wasn't heaven in my mouth, man. It was you made this thing out to be like, oh my god, it's the best fucking rye whiskey you'll ever have, and it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great either.
To be fair,
To be fair,
Phil, we do have coming to the KOE Nation page here very soon. What do we have coming up?
It will be dropping very shortly here, folks. A blind rye whiskey flight. When Tony and I were up in South Dakota with chicken, the reviews and the temperatures were high, but we got through a blind rye flight, 10 different rye whiskeys. I was the only one that knew what each glass contained. And we went through all the rye whiskeys of all the varying types, 2 Whistle Pigs, 2 Jack Daniel's styles, Canadian styles, all different kinds of styles of rye whiskey. And you will
That
have
was
to
a
see
little trashed.
which one ranks number 1. It's going to shock you which one ranks number 1. And that's coming soon here, folks.
So
But
after sampling all those, who declared their love for everybody afterwards because they were so drunk? You
I
don't
love you,
understand.
guy.
That's true, man. Phil, man, you don't understand, man. I love you.
It was a pretty impressive layout. So I gave Phil my bar to just set up, and he kicked me and Tony out of my garage, and he set up this beautiful array of all the nosing glasses.
Don't reveal the
and-
winner. Don't reveal the winner.
Oh, I won't. And
Yeah.
beautiful.
No
Ray
spoilers.
lined it all up nice and neat. It was pretty impressive. Phil, I give you a little golf clap for that. I was slightly impressed, even though it was hot as fuck in my garage that day. That was a good time. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good time. And so you will find out what the World of Rye whiskey has to hold there, folks. But Tom, you had a comment a moment ago. You were about to get in. What was that, sir?
I just see I see there's a lot of people in the comments, guys, but I don't see you guys giving us a whole lot. We need you guys active. Let us know what you think. Say ultra white man bad. Let us know what you think about the president sending the military in on his own citizens. Like what do you guys have to say? What do the people think about this sort of tomfoolery?
Tom makes a good point. Usually we have a hell of a lot more comments, and people are making us drink a lot by now. So
yes,
no burn
and
tonight, apparently.
to give the opposite end equal time, if you will, to what Tom's question. Tell us what you think in the comments of President Trump bravely sending in the National Guard to defend American citizens from the forces of evil and rioting. So tell us what you think about this brave act by our fearless leader. So, yeah. Tell me what you think. That's kind of my perspective. Is he's setting them in to protect citizens from a government that won't protect them.
Dude, Phil's audio is actually on with his video today. This is crazy. We got all sorts of crazy
Phil,
stuff going on.
did you get your new laptop yet, or?
I haven't. I just basically turned off everything else in the house that isn't this. If it doesn't have to do with
sometimes
this, it's all off. I even turned off the Wi-Fi on my phone, and so that.
Oh, maybe that's been the fucking problem this whole time.
Yeah, get those comments up. Thank you, Leonard. But
just let us know you're there. We'll pull your comments up. We'll read them. Just let us know you're there.
So I understand your point, well, Tom, and this is one of those things that. And he's back in the news. I really wasn't happy about this when Obama, during Obama's administration, did any of you remember the Bundy Ranch thing?
Yeah.
It was.
You have to remind me.
Ammon Bundy's actually back in the news. He actually came out in support of Black Lives Matter. They had this standoff in Nevada over some cattle grazing fees. The Fed took their cattle. They're I'm going super, super simple here. Feds took their cattle. Bureau of Land Management took their cattle. There was a big, huge standoff. A lot of people came. Armed folks had a standoff with the feds. In the end, the Bundy family got their cattle back. Then they decide, hey, let's, Bundy Ranch 2 Electric Boogaloo. For some reason, they decided to take this party up to Oregon. And they overtake some sort of wildlife refuge, and they make it like their base. And then they were going from city to city.
This kind of sounds like an episode of Tiger King right now.
Anyways, so but the part that I wasn't really all that happy about was at one point they're going from one city to another to have some sort of meeting. Police set up a blockade. There's a shooting. Dude loses his life over it. I was like, maybe just let these guys go to their stupid little meeting, and maybe that would have been the better outcome that day. So I wasn't really necessarily happy about that. So I understand, Tom, your trepidation about what's happening now. It's like, I don't know about this. A lot of these guys are just dudes in V for Vendetta masks with bongos. Are we sure about this?
Yeah, we got a comment from Tucker Cunningham. Says from what I've seen in terms of riots, they've gone down a hecton. At this point, they are pointlessly sending in guard. I personally think we're almost to the point where just about everyone can agree that this can't go on for too long. I would like to know what the people of that city think, though. The people of Portland, obviously, if there's that many people who are out there rioting, if there's that many people who are, adding to this civil unrest, then I think that for the most part, they're all pretty okay with it.
I want to interject on that comment because I think, Tucker's coming from a place where most people are, where all you're seeing, whether it be on the news or what pops up on your phone or what you see on Facebook, is nobody thinks riots are going on anymore. I challenge anybody to go to Facebook Live or YouTube Live and look at Portland or New York, and I guarantee you type in any major city, there's going to be a protest at least. But the Portland ones, even the Portland PD, their body cams, they set them up to just stream live now at this point. And actually the was it the ACLU was actually trying to sue the police department there now because they think that that's illegal somehow, but everybody else can live stream. But anyway,
Wow.
I think everybody feels like there's no riots and this is all calming down. It's not. Did any of you know? Now, Tom, you may not. You're not from around here, but in Omaha, I'm trying to look it up. But there was arrests of like 100+ people in Omaha over this last weekend due to, well, it wasn't rioting, but it was illegal protesting.
Winky face.
Did anybody even hear about that? Nope. You're not going to.
No.
Freedom!
Did you say illegal protest?
Yeah, and that's the winky face and quotations. I'm going to look up the story here. I actually just heard about it today because I didn't even know about it. I'm all over the news. I watch the news more than I know my two colleagues on here and my brother do, and I never heard about the damn thing. I actually heard about it on a separate local podcast from Omaha where a guy was talking about it. And I was like, well, holy shit.
Yeah. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I've been in a cornfield for the last 3 days, basically. And I've been listening to local radio news. Silence. Hasn't mentioned one single thing about this. And I've been listening to local news radio all weekend long. So that's kind of surprising, actually. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it, chicken. So,
Yeah, I haven't heard about it. I don't really watch the news though, so I guess it's not all that surprising that I haven't heard about it. I don't do much, CNN, even though I'm accused of watching CNN. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch MSNBC. I get my information from, the real news places like Facebook and Twitter, the Dog and Chicken Show, myself. Yes. If there isn't news out there, I'll make it up on the spot,
Exactly. Exactly.
That's oh God, Bernadette's here.
I was about to say, it's
boy.
like, no, Tom, I'm not accusing you of watching CNN. I'm accusing you of watching MSNBC. Come on, now get it right. I'm fucking with you, man. I'm fine. I know nobody would torture themselves so much as to watch MSNBC for an extended period of time. It's the one network that has more letters in its name than actual viewers. So,
Mask.
For those in the chat that are unaware of the Omaha arrests that I just mentioned, I just posted the link in the chat. Check it out after the show. Don't leave the show. But it's just a reference for you. But it does say, I'll read the article here. It says Omaha police said 75 to 100 protesters were taken into custody Saturday night after they were obstructing a road. The group is named Pro Black without a K. It's Pro BLAC. Led the event in hopes of seeking justice for James Scurlock and bring awareness to more of what's going on in Portland. So the James Scurlock thing is about that Omaha bar owner who got into a tussle, had 3 people attempt to assault him, and he tried to fire warning shots and then ended up eventually killing another man who jumped on him. That was Scurlock that got killed. Jacob Gardner was the shooter, and no charges were pressed because the video footage showed them that there was no there was no evidence to show that he was doing anything out of just self-defense, because he kept getting attacked. He got attacked by 3 people. But now they're trying to have protests. Nobody should die. And there's this is the shitty part about this. This Jacob Gardner guy, I don't know him, obviously. I have no idea who this guy is, what he's about. He was a local business owner, and everybody that didn't like him and went to high school with him that didn't like him, the media just like ran with anything they said of, yeah, he made racist comments before, and yeah, he's kind of a piece of shit, and I don't like that guy. And so they tried to do the smear campaign on some random, bar owner in Omaha. Maybe he is a dick. Maybe he is a piece of shit. I don't know. But that's I don't know if that's the media's job to do a spin like that. And I guess that's why, Tom, you heckle me a little bit on how much shit I give the news, but they do so much opinion pieces like that, and they ruin people's lives with no regard for it. And then people go,
that used to be called libel and slander.
Used to be. God, Bernie, I got a lot to catch up on.
Hey, real quick, Eckler just brought up that whole. Sorry, gotta get it. One fist away from your face.
Fist from your face.
Eckler brought up that Omaha, scanner page, and I don't know if you guys ever been on it, but do look at it on Facebook. It is every now and then you get some really funny reading out of that, or just
any of those scanner pages are funny.
Yeah, but the Omaha one's pretty damn good. I like it. But I'm done.
So you got to get onto Facebook to find out what's actually happening in your own state. Well, that's where we're at.
To the Dog and Chicken Show, we'll tell you.
Thank you. That really is the best route, folks.
God damn it, Buddha.
I got you.
And so I got to throw this up every now and then. So Nick went to high school with Tony, Phil, and myself, and I gave him the nickname Buddha because he kind of looked like a Buddha doll for a while, and then we did this whole little Stewart thing from Mad TV, not Saturday Night Live. You guys corrected me very, very violently last time I said that, because I didn't watch either of them. I think they were both kind of garbage. But the Stewart, look what I can do. So yeah, thanks, Nick.
But I will say, Buddha, he's now looking rather shredded as of late. So he looks
good. He looks like a beast.
He has gone from happy Buddha to aesthetic Buddha. I got to give him credit on that one. He is now aesthetic Buddha with the shredded fucking abs. Oh, sorry. And also Brendan Roy brings up a great point. The Covington kid, that kid's been made rich. Look at what they did to the Covington kid got made rich because they did libel and slander him, and it was provably so. That one was one of those interesting instances where it's like, wow, the film was edited to give everyone one impression, and it took multiple shots for a fuller picture to come out. And that was, to me, that was the beginning of, like, this has been one of the worst years for fake news. Like, just this year and last year
just kind of the catalyst for it, wasn't it?
That was when it was the boy who cried wolf. The boy cried wolf one too many times, and now nobody's really believing them anymore. And that, like, to me, that's what that kind of like, okay, wow, all right, that was complete fake news from top to bottom.
Did he sue CNN though? Is that
CNN, Rolling Stone, Washington Post? Fly on all their houses, and he's making a lot of bank off it.
I got to push back
$500 million already on this.
I got to push back on this a little bit. I mean, I get that they took off with a narrative that was untrue and ended up hurting this kid's life. The problem is that suing the Native American guy who actually told the story and said that they were all surrounding him and that he felt like his life was in danger and that they were all coming after him and that they were saying racist things to him. Like, that's the guy who put the story out there. He's the guy who they just listened to him and put it on broadcast. But that he was the one who actually lied. He's the one who should have gotten in trouble.
Hold on, POTUS Tom.
Fake news.
That right there was bullshit. If you watched that, the guy beating the drum, he immediately went on CNN, MSNBC, and gave a completely fake story.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's the one who should be sued, not MSNBC, not CNN. They just listened to his story and broadcasted it, but he's the one who was lying.
They had full context of the footage, and they edited
MSNBC,
it down to put forward it. So that's where that's the reason they're paying out. So
no, they didn't. They had a bunch of different people with cell phones that eventually came out more and more and more.
Dude, I had the full footage. I remember watching that on. I don't watch Twitter very often, but my phone was just going nuts that day, and I popped it up. I watched it, and I was like, "Dude, that looks a little weird. It looks a little out of context." And so I actually started like looking more into it and looking for other videos. And sure as shit, within 5 minutes, I seen the full fucking video. And then for 2 days straight, all you seen was that dude on the news pushing a false narrative and all of them supporting it. And this kid and probably all of his friends' lives got ruined for it. So you know what? You want to pump that fake bullshit out there. You got to pay the consequences for it. I don't know. $500 million might be a little steep though.
I'd still say whatever. The Native American guy who should be sued, not CNN, not MSNBC.
Well, what damages is he really capable? He's not the one capable of causing damages. He can't cause damages. It's the news corporations that can cause the damage and the ruining of reputation and the actual spreading of libel or slander. So that's why, I mean, when in any suit you go out, I mean, come on, legal. Any suit, you go after the folks who got the money. So they're going after CNN. They're going at that's the classic of any lawyer. That's just what they do.
I did like the kid's tweet though. After they settled, he said 2 down, 6 to go. I just laughed. I was like, "Oh,
Sandman the Savage." By the time he gets to the last one, when he's like 4 or 5, like 3 or 4 more in, and he's almost to $1 billion, it is going to be kind of hard. Like, but Your Honor, you don't know how much they ruined my life. My life's just ruined over here.
Yes,
as soon as this courtroom gets over, I got to get to my beach house. All right, later.
Yeah, as they all complain about his white privilege and how rich he is and how well off he is, it's a false narrative, but they actually made it come true. They spoke it into reality.
They made him the highest paid employee at CNN.
Wow! And did you see what Brian Stelter did? You see that shit with Brian Stelter? He actually
nobody watches Brian Stelter. Not even his.
I don't think it was.
Not even his mom watches.
It wasn't
Brian
on his show. But his part of the agreement was that they wouldn't bring the story up anymore, and they would pretty much just, I'm sure there's more technical terms to it, but I haven't read the agreement obviously. But Brian Stelter started talking about it, and they came after him again. They're like, "We'll fucking sue CNN again." And now there's talks: is Brian Stelter going to get fired? And I'm like, oh. Man, I'm not a cancel culture guy at all. I don't wish anybody to lose their job at all, but Brian Stelter sucks.
I'm just reminded of that Goofy meme where he goes, "I'll fucking do it again." Wow. So yeah, Sandman will come back for round 2 on you. Wow. Like, man. And yeah, this kid's just got a lock solid case. I'm sorry. He's gonna get at least half everything he asks for. So that was yep, boy. He's got to sign non-disclosure agreements on the full amounts for everything, but It'll be interesting to check in with young Sandman 5-10 years from now. But
I'm curious to see what he does with all this money and what he does with his life. Like this dude's got like
Hookers and blow.
oh,
There you go.
his life was ruined by the media, but then it was ruined again by money.
behind the
Then it'll be
music,
like a made-for-TV movie,
Yep.
on like
Oh,
Hallmark
God,
Channel.
yeah.
Like,
Nick Sandman behind the music. Wow,
Jesus.
wow, wow. And that's when everything took a dark turn.
So please at least tell me that the Native American guy is part of the lawsuit. Please tell me that he is one of the people who's getting sued, because he is the major guy who put this information out there. Like he didn't just, he took maybe they took videos and edited them dishonestly, but he's the one who put the narrative to it. He's the one who who gave the information that supposedly everybody's yelling racist stuff, that supposedly they surrounded him and wouldn't let him leave, and that he tried his best to calm things down by singing a song and beating a drum. He's the one who said all of that.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did sue him, but that dude has nothing.
yeah, he's probably died of COVID. Though.
And again, here we go. I'm in my coat here, so I'm attorney Phil KOE, and so I'm gonna now. My cross-examination, though, for that question is, who is able to inflict the most damages? Is it this one individual who is speaking a few things? Or is it the giant multinational media conglomerate broadcasting all across the globe? Who
With a
is
lot of
the
money.
one capable of inflicting the most damage to young Sandman here? That is why they're going after them, because they're the ones who can actually inflict the damage.
Well, it seems Tony had something he wanted to bring
Tony
up real
fucking G.
quick.
Well, actually, first and foremost, I did have Buddha ask in the comments, is that drink good? Well, yes, it is, Buddha. He's like, I think I just heard you say, damn, that's good. And I did say that. I switched over to have a little Macallan 15, but it's a marvelous drink. Also check KOE Nation for that review coming soon as well. But I did want to ask Tom something. I know this is completely shifting topics, but Tom, how is the COVID going? What's going on there? How are we feeling? How's it progressing? What's going on?
So for anybody who is unaware, COVID is real. It's not fake. It happens to be a real thing. So it is somewhat similar to the flu, to influenza. My issue is that, like, if you have it, the difference with COVID is that it takes like other issues that you have and heightens them times 1,000. So I have issues with migraines. I had a brain crushing migraine for about 3 days straight that I just couldn't, like, I couldn't walk straight. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think right. Like, everything was just, it was horribly painful. Then I had just had, a back problem where I had a bunch of boxes fall on me at work and my lower back was killing me. And so then all of a sudden, like, my joints are all hurting and my back pain is 1,000 times worse as well. Again, could barely walk straight, was just wobbling all over the place. I don't even remember numerous days in a row with all of that, and then the fever on top of it. I couldn't think. I could, like, just again, like, it was all just too much on top of each other all at once. And then but it was more like 3 or 4 days where it was really bad. And then now I can't, it's 2 weeks later, I can't go back to work. I can't go out to the grocery store. I can't go do anything because I haven't gone 3 days straight without any symptoms whatsoever. I'll have one day with absolutely no symptoms. The next day I wake up, my lungs hurt. Haven't had any problems with the lungs the entire time. All of a sudden, my lungs hurt. I'll go a day with absolutely no symptoms. Wake up the next day, I start coughing. And every time I keep calling the doctors, and I'm like, "Hey, can I come take a test yet?" They're like, "Have you gone 3 days straight without any symptoms whatsoever?" I'm like, "No, I haven't." They're like, "Okay, you got to wait." And my bosses are calling me, "When are you going to come back to work?" I normally work 60 to 70 hours a week. It's just, but thank you for asking, Tony. I right now I am doing very well. I'm streaming literally every night because I am used to working very hard in a lot of hours, and I have nothing to do. Nobody can come anywhere near me. So come check me out on Tomfoolery. I'm streaming every single night. Tonight I'm on the Dog and Chicken Show instead, but tomorrow I will be right back to streaming while I'm out with COVID.
Well, I do have something. I don't know if this will help, but if it begins to be a problem, I think I might have a solution for you, Tom.
Nope. Tony, is this going to get us kicked off?
50-50.
Oh, no.
19 is an infectious
Oh my
disease caused by severe
Yes.
acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 2.
I am scared about COVID-19.
Let's talk about your fears. What is the feeling like?
Cold and dark and awful.
I did not know it was that bad.
I am having suicidal thoughts. How can you help?
Really?
Jesus.
Don't worry. I'm here now to help you.
How can you help me?
Do you need help figuring out how I work? Or is it a personal issue?
It's a personal issue.
Please tell me what your problem is.
I'm feeling really depressed. What should I do?
No, please don't be sad. Go outside, look to the sky, and admire how all of creation is beautiful, and realize that you are a special part of it. Is there anything I can do?
Not right now.
Are you sure? I can search the meaning of things for you. I can also do math for you.
I like the accent.
Wow.
My girlfriend's producing today.
Where the fuck is Kevin
can you
on
speak
this?
with that accent? Is that possible? I don't.
Somehow I
Practice, I
suspect
guess.
that's going to be a hard pass. Don't know what. I gotta just hard no.
Thank you,
So-
Bernadette. Thank you.
But
I missed
I,
it.
wow. So that is.
man.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So that is a sex robot that will warn you about
Tom's in trouble.
COVID-19. That will tell you about COVID-19 worries and will talk you out of being suicidal. Because let's be frank, if you spent as much money as those things cost, as I found out in our last discussion, yeah, you might be questioning some life choices.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
she
talked
does
about
do math.
sex. We talked about sex dolls on my stream with you and me as well. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tony, all I got to say,
How dare you?
I mean, it happens. So I honest to goodness, I did want to hear Tom's update on the COVID stuff, but then I was Googling, I shit you not, I Googled sex robots, and the first thing that came up was this fucking article from Forbes that says talk to your sex robot about
Why are
COVID.
you googling
And then that
sex
video.
robots?
I was about to
you
say,
don't know Tony very well, do you?
I was
Does
about to
everybody
say,
do that?
this is, believe it or not, this is just Tony's way of saying get well soon. I know it's a little weird, but
Yes, Brendan, that was creepy.
it's kind of how,
Yes.
just go with the rhythm of the music. That's all I can tell you. But yeah,
Well,
that
but, I
was
mean-
ridiculous.
The general gist here was that the software company, I believe, the company that's making this specific one, their latest software update comes with a new conversational coronavirus feature that supports human-machine dialogue about the pathogen. The AI can be customized to speak in depth about virology and COVID-19 specifically. Without customization, she talks more generally about the pandemic with an emphasis on how her owner is feeling about it. For the standard build, we don't go into any deep dives on how the virus started and what it is and when they're going to figure out a cure, says McMullen. But we want people to be able to talk about it and feel like they have someone there. Even if they don't, even before the pandemic, sex robots came pre-programmed with what he refers to as common sense kindness. So essentially what they're talking about here is how the sales, and this is all coming from Forbes, by the way. This is
Tony, real quick, I got one more button.
Go ahead
for this real quick before we get too far into it. Being the writer of Forbes, I have a distinct feeling this song's playing in his head.
I know what boys like. I know what guys want. I know what boys like.
Yeah.
So, according to this, it says, in tandem with a historic rise in mental health problems brought on by COVID-19, sales of sex robots have skyrocketed from pre-shutdown. It's probably 75% higher than it was. Their robotic head costs $6,000, and it attaches magnetically to a doll body for a total of $12,000, about the same as a 5-year-old Prius. So,
if you're suicidal, get a sex robot.
That's what I'm saying, Tom. Like, if the going gets tough,
done.
You know, there's a cure.
Done, son.
It might not be the cure you want, but yeah, you get a sex robot, and basically, you're on the uphill there. I mean, really, what could go wrong? I see no downside.
That's really somebody batting 1,000 at life there, T. I gotta say, like, yeah, got my sex robot in tow, batting 1,000 life right now. Nothing could be going better. Yeah, no, said no one ever. Like, wow.
Brendan Roy
here
asks, why would you make a sex robot that talks? And that's
why would you make a woman
wrong.
that talks? Yeah.
Well, see, I wasn't gonna go quite
not
there.
happy. Yeah, my girlfriend's not happy. It's okay.
The producer's
wasn't
about
gonna
to
come
shut
flat.
this shit down. You keep that up.
This
I
show
wasn't gonna come flat
It's
out.
okay.
Just say it, Tom.
Gee, I have COVID. She's not allowed to
Just
come.
middle of the show. Just Tom.
I'm protected right now. Yeah,
dude.
You have a COVID force
Tequila
field.
turns
Yes,
Tom
I am
into a
protected by
chauvinist. This is
COVID.
awesome.
And also, Tom, you beautiful bastard, if you say anything objectionable, if they try to come after you like 10 years later, like, hey, I had COVID, delirious, how can you possibly?
Exactly.
Yes. It was feverish
Oh, my
rambling
God.
like Phil from KOE. Yes.
Oh, well, you mean the feverish ramblings of the unadulterated truth, sir?
Yes. Can we
what if that's what happened to
recognize this real quick?
Roseanne?
Do you guys, the last time I was on this show, I lagged out and I fell off the screen. And when I came back on, Phil
You had
said
COVID.
it was my hot fire that knocked you off of the stream. And I said, actually, it was your feverish ramblings. It sounds like you might have COVID, and then you sent it through your mic into my computer, and now I've got a computer virus, so I'm using my phone to stream instead. And 2 hours later, I woke up horribly sick.
It was okay. Here's some real life. Tom, you'd sent me the message that you had COVID. You just got your test back, and I immediately went onto our little group chat with Tony and Phil, and I was like, Phil, you gave him COVID, dude. And Phil was like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, what the fuck's going on? He's really got it." Like, I just had to really just throw it out there just to them two to see what the reaction was. And Phil honestly was concerned. He was like, "Holy shit, for real?" Like, but then it quickly turned into
I
a little
obviously
bit of a joke
suggested
when we
sex
found out you were
doll.
doing okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
You know, whatever. But I've already gone over this with Phil on my stream as well. So
now I will say this, Tom. I hope you get well soon. I really do. I'm very sorry to hear that. But also, I'm sorry it had to be you, but it is really cool to know about my powers. Like I didn't know I had these. Like, so I gotta really be careful with this shit. Not like point that. Be careful when I point that thing. But
Right.
So okay. So that's my.
God damn it, Phil.
Sorry, T. Damn it. My mind powers. I didn't know.
The mind bullet hit.
I'm getting.
Quick, Phil, start talking about how I have a bigger dick.
Does just having a mask on the screen automatically mean that we drink?
It's the biggest. It's
well,
none
you said
bigger.
it on top of it, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean
That'll
that is a big gulp at least.
Yeah. Yep.
Jimmy the vapors.
Well, while we're on the Corona talk, that was another thing that got brought up today. Let's get a little bit more serious here and get back on track a little bit.
I'll find a
Derail
way
it
to
anytime
be
you guys.
smart. I'll find a
Derail
way
it
to be a
anytime you
smart
want.
ass about it.
Yeah,
Go
well,
for it.
you won't. Not on this one. Herman Cain passed away of COVID-19. If you don't know who Herman Cain is, he ran for president. Was that back circa 2004 and 2008? I can't remember.
2012.
2008.
That sounds.
Was it 12?
All right.
Yep, 2012.
The best quote.
Yep.
I can give you the best Herman Cain quote. And he's like, I don't know what's going on in Uzbekistan. And that went on national news. That was fucking funny as shit.
I remember that. Herman Cain was classic.
It was, yeah.
Oh, he had some good quotes.
And I'll note now he was a CEO of Godfather's Pizza. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, and he was the first one that tried to do like a. It was Obamacare he was going up against, and or no, was it the tax thing? It was the 123 tax thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
999 tax
369,
plan.
Yeah.
The 999 tax plan. Don't you guys remember it? Because what stood out to me is like, wait, 999. Motherfucker, that's the price you charge for one of your pizzas. Okay, wait a minute. $9.99 for one of his pizzas and his $9.99 tax plan. So I'll never forget that. Like that, it was like 9% income tax, 9% sales tax, 9% some other tax. Yes. And that was what he was most famous for. He did serve on the Federal Reserve. I believe it was Kansas City Federal Reserve Board for a short while. He had a very interesting life, and hey, there's other things you can say about the guy, but rest in peace, sir, and to all your family, and hope you get through it.
Cheers.
So, yeah, the speculation, though, is that he was at a rally in Tulsa a couple weeks ago.
Oh, God. You watch CNN, too?
Not wearing a mask. I almost said it. Not wearing a registration. I was trying to make that
Not wearing a facial airflow resistance device.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
I found my Bat Dad mask. I was doing.
Oh, he said it.
I did. Oh yeah, I did. Shit. Anyway, I found that, and I was like, is this okay? Like, most businesses you walk into, the sign just says you have to have a facial covering, and I'm like, can I put on that Batman strap? And my mouth isn't covered, but
Facial
like
covering.
yeah, technically I'm covering my face, just not that part. I'm covering everything else. Like, can I walk in and be like, I'm wearing a mask? Drink.
Son of a bitch.
I poured like a certain amount into this cup that I thought this is the amount that I will drink for the show.
Yeah,
and I've been
that's
taking
how it
small
goes.
sips the entire time, and I'm already pretty much out. Like this is
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck
welcome
with
to
that. I'm already on my
welcome
third
to
dip.
hour
Chicken.
one.
Welcome to the Dog and Chicken Show. Sorry, man.
It's all downhill from here, Tommy.
I'm
Now
gonna
you
be
can see
throwing
why I
up
slur
before
my
the
words
show's
by
over. I
Oh, Jesus.
hope you guys are
Robo.
ready for that.
Well, now you see why I slur my words by the end of the show. Go ahead,
Yeah.
T.
Dude, you slur the words when you start the show. Come on.
Yeah,
By
that's
the
fair.
end-
I don't think most people can tell.
That's called
I
pregame.
can, but it's pregame, baby. Yeah, I like it.
I'm used to it.
Speaking
I-
of pregame,
Tom's gonna get like that. That's really our goal here, Tom, is so when you sign in to the Tomfoolery show tomorrow, you have to open it with, I just want to say I was drunk and I got COVID from all the things I said on the Dog and Chicken show last night. Okay?
All right.
Let me just
I'm
get
gonna
that out of the
go
way
on.
right now.
I'm gonna go on with a hangover. You guys are trying to get the soft-spoken, serious Tom out of the way, and now we're on to the drunk and crazy Tom. So, wearing ties and masks and all sorts of other gadgets. I'm going full on. Oh crap! I didn't realize.
Gadgets.
I got a new nickname
Gadgets.
for Tom again. It's Toasty.
Toasty.
Tequila
Yeah,
Tom.
getting
Toasty
toasty.
Tequila Tom.
Toasty.
Or
He's the
There you
triple
go.
T.
Triple T.
Triple T.
Toasty Tequila Tom. Nice, nice.
Oh my god,
On
dude,
Thursday.
chicken. I got it. You remember Mortal Kombat 2 when you'd give an uppercut and that little guy would come across the screen and yell Toasty?
God damn it. Damn it.
Yeah. I'm going to have to download it on the soundboard.
So that's what he was saying? I had no idea what that guy was saying for all
I
these
thought he
years.
was saying pussy.
Yeah,
I thought he said
Pretty sure it's
Toasty. Toasty.
I'm gonna
and-
find it.
And I thought he said
He
pussy too.
said whoopsie.
I could've swore.
WHOOPSY.
I could have swore every
Let's
time.
find
You know
out.
what?
Pussy.
Yeah,
Googling
here we
that
are.
right now.
We're going to find out once and for all here on the Dog and Chicken Show, because I am going to be however old I am right now whenever I figure out what this one actually is.
Fucking
Bernie,
Bernie.
come on. You're killing me
Still
here.
trying to Google shit, Bernie. What's wrong
That's
with you?
3 drinks. Thanks, Bernie.
This show is not as family friendly. I need to delete this off of my platform.
Is this an Tony? Don't play ads, dude.
The music and tells people.
Wasn't trying to.
Pussy. That's what I heard.
It's still so stupid.
Okay. Pause it.
Oh,
Remember when that was like the coolest goddamn game ever?
It still is.
still kind of is.
I mean,
Like,
I will take
graphics-wise, though?
GoldenEye.
Mortal
but
Kombat 11's out.
I was about to say,
GoldenEye.
it's,
Good.
Tom,
It's
you're my
no
man.
s-
Right there,
it's
GoldenEye.
oh yeah, GoldenEye was the shit. 007.
Shooting
I
that
mean,
guy in the ass from the bathroom right at the beginning.
Ooh,
You
look.
come in through the duct and you jump down and that guy's taking.
But no,
a
all
shit or
right,
something.
Tony, just go on Google. Like, don't go on the video anymore because God only knows for some reason that'll be fucking copyrighted. But
Yeah,
just go on Google and see what was that motherfucker actually saying. Or just keep rolling right on, T.
Hang on, I'm looking while it plays.
Crispy.
Alright, kill this.
See, that
is
looks
that
like
guy?
shit.
I think the
It's
most
Ermac.
important question, like, yeah, like pause this and let's
That
talk
was
about this.
Ermac.
Who? Well, no, like, what's he doing
Ermac.
today?
Ermac.
Oh, the guy? The guy.
Like
Here.
the
Who's the
guy's
guy?
I'll look
picture that
that up.
shows up and like shoves his head into the screen. Does that little lower thirds pop his head in?
Is it Tobias Boone? Noob
No,
Saibot back
that
there?
was Noob Saibot.
Toasty. He's saying toasty. According
Sure
to
Told you,
this
man.
page on the internet, anyways. So,
Fake
toasty.
What's his
Oh.
name?
It says right here. He
Toasty
says
Tom?
Toasty, and the guy's name is Dan Forden. So let's find out about Dan Forden. Dan
So-
Forden.
Toasty Gate has been solved, folks. You can return to
Nope.
your regular live citizens.
Yep.
It's
I looked it up. It is toasty.
Toasty
Even if I
time.
look up whoopsie Mortal Kombat, it comes up with videos toasty Mortal Kombat.
There you go.
It's
And then
Okay.
Google says, "Did you mean toasty? Toasty
Yeah.
tequila Tom."
Toasty Tequila Tom. As I'm changing the name of my channel.
I love it.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna wake up really upset tomorrow, but it's okay.
Now, Tom,
You have a
I
wacky
changed the
fucking
name
wild
of my
radio voice.
channel.
Like,
It was
"Hello, this is toasty
Sounded
tequila
good to me."
Tom on a Friday morning. Yeah.
No, Tom. Now you
Toasty
have an
tequila,
excuse
Tom.
to invite me to a show on a Friday or a Saturday night and get totally blitzed with me now.
Call it, yeah, it'd be
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Toasty.
This is
Yeah.
this is a one-time,
Tuesdays.
kind of thing. It's every
All
once in
right,
a
all
while, a special occasion.
That sounds like a challenge, Tom.
I don't have work right now, so it's
I
okay.
accept.
Me
But
either.
I will be going to sleep later tonight. With every time I close my eyes, everything's going to be spinning, and I'm going to jump up, and be like, ah,
Well,
let's go. Come on, I can stay
How,
up a
how
little
are you
bit
gonna
longer.
get any sleep in the doghouse?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I had Corona. I was a little drunk. It's just talking crazy.
The fever
It was a
talk.
Corona
baby.
fever.
It's Corona fever
was-
talking.
It was
Now,
the
in
tequila
reality, hey,
Corona.
my girlfriend is totally cool with this stuff. She is the best. Okay, she is not going to get upset with me.
Yeah,
It's- I'm
I
gonna
was
go ahead
I
and
was
put
just
that out
thinking
there.
we need to give a shout out
We need
to
to butter.
producer right now. That's all it shows on my screen. But producer Anna,
Yes.
shout out to you because
Rose.
for once.
Producer
Well,
girlfriend.
it says Anna Rose. Sorry,
Okay.
so producer Rose. Shout out to her because Tom and I have talked about this. I know I've talked to Tony about this before too. Like whenever we're doing this, like Tony and I have gotten good at like taking turns on popping up comments and popping up the little things in the windows and stuff like that to try to have a little more interaction. But like when you're doing that, you lose conversation. Like you're not listening anymore, and like I'll miss an entire point somebody made, and then I'll go back and watch the show the next day, which I fucking hate doing. It's so cringe, but you got to do it sometimes because you're like, God, was I an asshole on that one? Did I make any
I watch
Yes.
all of my
points?"
shows.
Yes.
The answer is yes. He was an asshole.
Yes, I was.
Every time.
But like when you go back and watch them, you're like, holy shit, I was sitting there clicking buttons and popping up comments, and I did not listen to a damn thing Phil said, which says everybody. But
Phil was talking.
Phil was talking. No, sorry.
I do
Phil,
the
just
same
pick on
thing. I constantly like I'll be in the middle of a podcast or I'll be in the middle of a show and I'll be talking to somebody and I bring people on just to have like these one-on-one conversations with them. But I'm looking at the comments, I'm pulling up, links and articles, and I'm like, fact checking stuff that they're saying. And then I'll go back and I'll ask them a question. And then when I watch it later, I'm like, oh my goodness, I literally asked them a question that they answered. Like, I'll ask them like what college they went to 30 seconds after they told me what college they went to. Like, yes, I do the same thing all the time.
It's-
So
it's
yes,
so
it's
hard
very,
'cause
it's
you
been
get-
very nice having Rose
it's
produce for me.
Super
as well.
nice. And Rose, don't want to diminish it, but you're like a Jamie right now. And if you don't know what that is, Jamie on
Yes.
Joe Rogan podcast, one of the most influential people in the world.
Pull that
Jamie
crap
is
up.
the shit.
Jamie, can you pull
Jamie,
that
pull
up?
that shit up.
Pull it up. We'll just call you Jamie Rose.
Jamie Rose Jamie. Let's at least use her
Yeah.
first name. Like, oh, respect. Jesus, man.
Show a little respect.
Fucking Christ. man.
Sorry.
Just a little bit.
Kind of. I'm there though.
Anyway,
Thank you,
I use these
Ashley.
people-
Thank you. Yes, this is how I'll keep this cast and ne'er do wells together. But thanks for
To be
coming
fair,
in.
to be fair though, with that,
To
Phil
be
also
fair.
does totally get off on being dictator, producer, director, and star of the show. So he kind of
he tries
loves
to take
it
this
as
show
well.
over every week. It's kind
Tries?
of it's
Yeah,
Yes,
Make
we'll
Newgate
be
great
like
again.
2 hours. We'll be 2 hours into the show and bring Phil on. And as soon as he comes on, he tells everybody, "Welcome to the Tomfoolery Show." And I'm like, "What do you welcome now? Like, what do you mean? It's
Yeah.
just now starting? Like,
He's
what do
a
you
great
They just
promoter,
followed him.
though.
It's just
I just let him
getting
do
better.
it.
It's just now
Yeah, he's
starting."
bringing his
Phil's
followers to you. Damn it.
The millions, billions, possibly. So
Yes.
Possibly.
they're just all going. No, they're all going through several proxies, and they're all conduiting through one. So that's
Here's another reason I'm excited to have a Rose Jamie, is I can hit my buttons and fuck with Phil. This is great.
I can see she's fighting with somebody over the controls. The comments popping up.
It's Tony.
taking off,
Tony
popping
has
up,
a hard
popping-
time letting go.
I do tend to keep a fairly stocked bar when we're throwing a few cards around here, but
My laptop's out of reach.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing on my show, is assimilating to having a producer. So Phil, the immigrants, they have trouble as well. You can talk to them about their struggles. You guys can have a sit down meeting, and you can all talk about your feelings about what it's like to lose control.
Let's talk about Phil's feelings.
Yes. I mean,
Talk about
more
Phil's
deep
control issues.
dive examination into all that is Phil. Yes. I mean, this is all great. I'm loving all this. Bring it. So yes, this is fun.
What is your philosophy?
Okay. All right.
See, that was a play on words. I said philosophy. So it's gonna be a little more self-centered as you do it.
I mean, well, of course. I mean,
See what you did there.
the main philosophy of the KOE Nation is for everybody. All of us can attain a little bit better lives through extremeness. If we all just try to work to attain to be just a little more extreme, there's nothing you can't do in your own life. So, yes, Phil for the plenty. Vote KOE in 2020, which is strange because I am also idiosyncratically supporting somebody else that's running for president. So it's a really
Those Kanye
weird.
West.
Sorry to interrupt. This is Lynn with CNN. Phil, did you just openly tell everybody to be extremists?
For KOE Nation, yes.
Phil.
To quote the great
Radical
Barry
extremists
Goldwater,
tonight on CNN.
to
You
quote
heard
the great Barry Goldwater, extremism in the pursuit of liberty is no vice.
Tonight on Tucker Carlson, Phil KOE promotes extremism and then endorses Donald Trump.
Oh,
shit,
let
we
me
gotta
on, Tucker.
Oh,
Let
I got to drink.
Rock.
me on.
I saw
yeah,
Melanie in the comments. She calls him the king of the evolved. So
We call him the king of punctuality.
Yes,
KOP.
thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Melanie. I give you 3 bows, miss. Thank you. That is amazing. The king of the evolved. I mean, guys, my kingdom just grows by the day. What can I say? So, this
So
is
when,
fun.
when is I
that
see
note.
Ashley in the comments? When's Nurse Ratchet gonna make another appearance on the Dog and Chicken Show?
That we're gonna have to see. I've been trying to. Now, you do remember how much the last time I had a studio audience here on the
That
Dog
was
and Chicken Show.
terrible.
And I was
Never
gonna
do
say
that again.
it was
fucking
a
awesome.
runaway success. It was just a unqualified success when I had a studio audience here. So why not do that again?
That was fucking awesome. Do it again. Yes.
Oh, I hated every minute
It's
of it.
fucking great.
Oh,
So,
I hated
Tom,
it
if you don't
more.
know, so we tried to do one of these shows, and Phil had a house full of friends of his, and like the whole time he's trying to shut them up, and I'm like, this is where Mutegate really started. Is I kept having to fucking mute Phil because all I could hear was people yelling and screaming and arguing and having. Well, they were having fun in the background. I don't want to shit on
he
it too
admits
much, but
it's real.
yeah, it was just it was frustrating as all get out. But Nurse Ratchet saved the day. And jumped on the show and had a good time with her. I don't know if that was the same show. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I was drunk on both.
Shout out to Nurse Ratchet. Hello, Nurse. Sorry.
Yeah, I forgot about that. To be fair, Chicken was shit-faced and was in warlord control.
To be fair.
That's a bit of a mischaracterization. In fact, I would say that's a bit of a CNN characterization of mute gay
I
chicken.
see, Brendan. Real quick, I see Brendan says he's got a bail. Says he loves the show. Again, check out Dad's Worldwide. He posted the link earlier in the comments. Scroll up, check that out. Actually, a really, really fun podcast to listen to. Thanks for tuning in, fella. And always welcome to join the show or just come check us out. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Nurse Ratchet's got a couple of comments in there. What's my platform for the podcast? I don't know. That's for you to decide.
Yeah, you tell us that.
Yeah, if you can't tell that this is kind of one of those shows that we just kind of ride the wave, just kind of go with it. And yeah, that's what happens here. So
dress like a nurse and just talk smart.
Okay, now we got two chauvinistics on the show here.
Thank you. Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw a penis pop up.
That's Scott Skinner there.
Yes, and check out the Tomfoolery podcast. Yes, Tomfoolery show, where you can see Tomfoolery and his cast of characters, and even occasionally a couple of folks from here at the Dog and Chicken Show swing on by. So there's some cross-pollination going on. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, put him up. Yeah.
I'm not serious enough to be on there. Sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
I see Melanie's got a question, which is hysterical to me. No,
yeah, that's a good point.
We've tried a few times. You must
didn't try that fucking hard.
Don't let anything so irrelevant as a topic get in the way of just can't leave it open last time.
What the fuck was that? Pull that back up. What the fuck was that?
Well, I gotta yell at the dogs real quick.
All right, yeah, we got yelling dogs. Tony, address this, Tony, please.
I was just standing there minding my own business, being calm, cool, collected, sober as a fucking judge, and somebody lost their mind and tried to infect me with the coronavirus and just was standing entirely too close. So things happen. It gets wild, apparently.
Hey, come now, Nurse Ratchet. What happens here at the Speakeasy stays at the Speakeasy. That's a very important rule.
The worst part was when Phil got super jealous and licked more than my face.
Wow. All right.
Whoa.
So now we're just going to fantasy. Jesus.
Whoa.
Did you go downtown or what?
Wow.
Do tell.
Oh God. Can we get on a topic? I'm okay with it.
What's a topic?
I
Anything.
just pulled up.
We used to have those.
Oh God. Yeah, we used to have
It was
those.
so long ago, I've forgotten what a topic was.
So, how about this Ellen DeGeneres show? You guys been hearing about
that's
that?
relevant.
Have you seen about this? Have you heard about
It
this?
is. You guys been hearing about this? You hearing about this?
Nope.
So her show is being accused of several things, including racism within the workplace and all kinds of other shit. But Ellen, so this has been going on for like 2 or 3 days now, and they've been like really, really going after her staff. So they're trying to cancel Ellen's show, pretty much. Not Ellen, her staff, which it to me is fascinating. But she finally tonight, just now, breaking news, only on the Dog and Chicken Show, you'll get this. She says, I take responsibility. Ellen DeGeneres apologizes to staff after internal probe is launched over toxic bullying in the workplace. She hints that show's top producer, Ed Glavin, is on verge of being fired.
All right. I got one thing to say on that is because like a week or two ago, when Ellen's show just like mysteriously stopped showing on TV, they got on there and everybody's talking, oh, she's doing the adrenochrome and she's going to Pedo Island, and but it went all conspiracy on it. But what really happened was that they people on Twitter that actually worked for the Ellen show were just basically tweeting about how big of a bitch Ellen is. And they were talking about how toxic of a fucking boss she was. And she would pick a new person to fuck with every day. So she'd walk in, she'd be nice to a lot of people, and all of a sudden one person, I don't like that motherfucker, and just like go to town on it.
Yeah.
So apparently Ellen is the asshole, and yeah, she should take full responsibility.
So those are some of the comments here in the article. It says, so I'm looking at Daily Mail. It's like the second article they have pulled up. God, I hate doing Daily Mail. They have the juicy stuff. I'm not gonna lie. They get after it right away. They don't care if it's fake. But when it's making fun of Ellen DeGeneres, I'll make an exception. But it does say the employee that brought this up was apparently told, don't talk to her, don't approach her, don't look at her. Several employees blasted the show as a toxic work environment, accusing 3 executive producers of bullying. That's such a broad word now. In April, there was an outrage over pay cuts due to COVID-19 pandemic, even as an external company was hired to set up a quarantine studio from Ellen's home.
They hired scabs. God damn it. They hired scabs.
So they'll pay money to set it up at her home, which I bet her crew could have done. So yeah, probably a bad call, probably a bad move. But Ellen takes full responsibility and points blame at a male, probably a chauvinistic pig like Lynn and Tom.
Son of a bitch. Boy. Fucking hang him up by his testicles.
Fire them. Fire them.
Melanie
They're
said,
assholes because Ellen's a lesbian and you can't touch her.
Yeah, Melanie said she is a comedian. Being a butthole is in her DNA. I think, look, if we take these one at a time.
Language.
I don't cuss for everybody out there. Just, as you make fun of me, it's all right.
I'm just
okay.
And don't take this the wrong way, but when Midwesterners cuss, that means that they're comfortable with you. So
that's
yeah.
I mean, I think that's what it means.
Or we're breathing.
But
yeah.
But I think one of those, at least one of them, at least the only one that I can remember this far out, that's been a whole 30 seconds since you read those. She tells people not to look at her or talk to her. I could imagine being famous enough that you get to a point where no matter where you go, no matter who you work with, no matter what sidewalk you're walking down, somebody's running up to you, bugging you, wanting to get a picture with you or an autograph from you, or wanting you to sign their breasts.
That has nothing to do with her staff, though.
Yeah, and I would say boo fucking who. She's making plenty of money and she's still doing her job. So it comes with the fucking territory.
I get the plight of being a celebrity and how terrible it can sound, but this is her employees complaining about the work environment. So that should not, like, any of you ever had a job that said don't bring your work life home and don't bring your home life to work? Like, that's just kind of a common practice, right? Like, yeah, keep your shit
Those people
separate.
don't work out of the home.
If I may just inject here, a couple of things. First of all, Melanie had a great comment. Phil, jealous? The king? Never. Like, if we could just thank you. Thank you, Melanie. But
Phil's got a fan.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, miss. But I will say this. This is going to be kind of an interesting angle that you're not going to expect from me, but just allow me to play devil's advocate, and I'm going to defend Ellen DeGeneres and the organization just a little bit here. Ellen DeGeneres has been surviving and thriving in the cutthroat television industry for decades. The idea that you're going to be this kind, nice, lovely, empathetic, have time for everybody kind of person just is not going to be the reality of your world if you've made it if you had any idea how cutthroat and competitive the time slot she's in, the world she's competing in. Yeah, I imagine she's probably not going to be the most approachable person. Now, I don't know the totality of these allegations. I don't know what's what. But if you're going to survive in that kind of cutthroat world, you're going to need to have some not very pleasant people around you to help you survive and thrive there as well. So that's just my devil's advocate, kind of giving the other side of it. I think you should look at some videos of ex-employees, guests that spoke out against Ellen, the way she treats her staff, which are excellent points there, producer. That's just my counter, just to kind of give you a devil's advocate of, Ellen's run a dynamic organization over decades, and she's been able to survive and thrive in it. So, that's one thing that I would like. Again, not something that you were expecting out of the King of. Now, hang on. Now I got to give you credit, Chicken. That was the one sentence I never thought I would say in podcast history. Let me defend Ellen DeGeneres. Just never thought those sets of words would come out.
But unfortunately, it happened. Lynn, did you see any of this?
Well, I can say if you're defending Ellen, I can say that Oprah Winfrey did it for like 40 years before fucking Ellen, and she did it for a long fucking time, and everybody hated on Oprah. But I don't hear about any of Oprah's staff talking about like how she was like, like picking on them and having the staffers fucking bully them and all that shit. That she's been going on what? Oprah been going around since the early 80s, some shit like that, when she was fat and then she got skinny and then she got fat and then she got skinny and then fat and skinny and fat, and then I lost track.
Didn't Oprah buy an island too?
Right next to Jeff.
A pedo island?
I didn't say that. I just said she
They got like
bought an island and opened multiple schools in Africa.
They got a Slurpee machine that's got nothing but adrenochrome in it.
All right, this has turned into the Alex Jones show. I can open that intro anytime now.
Frog's gay.
Oh God.
Yep. Oh, dude, that's too funny.
Oh, that's fucking tinfoil.
Hold on. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna play the InfoWars intro. Sorry.
Bring me 15 hookers now and get the drugs ready and take me to the private island. Get the satanic rituals ready. I know who the enemy is, and let me tell you, they are vicious wolves who hate you and your family. Else your whole life. And this is a love affair. And so, I'm not going to get in bed with you. Oh, I'll see you at the feast tonight. Oh, we'll have lots of blood and semen. Oh, good. But more blood. What the hell is this?
Oh, they'll have lots of blood and semen tonight.
Yes. Sorry.
Now, here's the problem is... Here's the problem. You played InfoWars. This live stream might have just been shut down in the middle of, oh my God, there's Alex Jones. He has been Bolton, which kind of funny enough. If you guys, any of you guys watch the tech CEOs testifying before Congress? It was kind of funny. I think it was Matt Gaetz had the Google CEO said, So is it true that you manually decide what people you're going to throttle down and, prevent people from seeing? Well, no, but we just manually put together the algorithm that throttles people down. And so, no, we don't do that. So it's kind of like if a congressman were to ask, so Google CEO, do you murder cats? No, I don't murder cats. I just strangle them until they stop breathing. I put them in a box and then I bury them in the yard. But I don't murder them. I don't kill the cats at all. So that's the best metaphor. God. Like when I heard that was fascinating. And
we went from gay frogs to killing cats. All right, we're on a good track here.
Hey, come on now.
A whole bunch of holes in his back so he can breathe.
Well, I mean, like I'm using Schrodinger's cat in one of the worst ways, I suppose. But
yes you are.
There's got to be worse.
That's what you want to call
it. So we're on the topic of that. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I started watching, I skimmed through parts of it. The thing that stood out to me is they did the question of all four of the CEOs. So, they go to Tim Cook first, I think, and we're like, do you have a problem with the theft of intellectual property from China? And he's like, I've heard nothing of this. I have no idea what you're talking about. And they go around the room, and Amazon was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Google's like, yeah, I kind of heard an article about it once. I don't know what you're talking about. Facebook's like, yes, I'm concerned about this. I was like, what? Zuckerberg?
Facebook is in China.
Zuckerberg
Facebook-
has
Stealing
been
my
the one that
intellectual
keeps
property.
saying I don't like banning people. I don't like deplatforming people. I'm all about freedom of speech. He's gone on. He's talked with Ben Shapiro a lot. He's one of the few people that's actually standing apart from all of the other major social media platform giants. So.
If I may just
I need some white paste real fast.
Guys?
I need white paste on my face and go, I don't understand what you're asking me right now.
Guys, Facebook
Sweet
is
baby
the
Ray.
only company not in China. Of all those companies you just listed, Facebook is the only one not in China. They have a direct competitor in China. Google, Amazon, all the other companies are very much doing what they can to not displease China, which, let me posit this thought to you guys. We have the big tech companies all coagulating and all doing what they can. Yes, they're all coagulating around a certain idea, and they're doing their best to not upset.
When you put it that way, that's very appropriate, actually.
Yes, but they're doing their
You have to use
best
the hand signals.
to not upset China. These big tech companies are doing their most that they possibly can to not upset China. And the candidate on the Democratic side that is most supported by the big tech companies, Joe Biden, happens to be the most pro-China candidate running for president right now. It's fun. It's I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Can I say
there's
it for you,
no
Phil?
string of
Boy,
thought there.
howdy.
Boy, howdy.
Tell you
Ain't
what.
that a coinky dink? So it's
Good night, Ashley.
thank you, Ash. Yes, thank you. And we'll be
Nurse Ratchet.
recording some content. But so that's just something to think about. Joe Biden, out of anybody in the Democratic field, was the most pro-China candidate out of any of them, undeniably. His voting record is clear on it. And strangely enough, all the big tech companies that are very afraid of and doing all they can to not displease or say anything that would be counter to what China would like, strangely enough, are all, like I said, coagulating around the one candidate that is the most pro-China. Just something to think about, folks. And so would it really be that much of a stretch, because the big tech companies do influence our elections? Is it really that much of a stretch to say China is having a huge influence on our election through the big tech companies?
Influence, yes. And this is something that I keep talking about when it comes to people who think that this company, again, every single time I forget the name of the company, but everybody's worried about, this company that supposedly helped Trump win and made a big deal about him winning. Like, they can influence you one way or another if you are easily influenced. Yes. But you it's not as if you're not still making your own decisions. It's not as if you're not in control of your own brain. I mean, and that's debatable. I understand, but if we are allowing people to vote, if we believe in a democratic process, then we do believe that people are in control of their own thought process and that they can make their own decisions. And we can put out commercials on television and put out, ads on Facebook and on Twitter and all of these other things, but you're still the one who's supposed to be making the final decision yourself. So
understandable, but when there's these companies that are under the heavy influence of certain governments are controlling all the news and information that you get to see in your day. Let's not pretend that that doesn't have an influence. All articles, all news, all video that people see influences them. Phil, who would I pick as my running mate? The King of Extreme is going to have a very thorough selection process for my running mate. I mean, hell, Biden hasn't even announced yet. He's going to announce next week. So I think maybe we'll get into some predictions on that one. He should choose Tom as he is a former president, so it would be unprecedented. Former president as yes, Tom, bringing the guns to it. Yeah. That would be a hell of a ticket. Phil Tom, 2024, 2020, whatever. It'll be awesome. So that's what it's like.
I go to the bathroom real fast and I come back to this. What the fuck happened?
We took over.
What else did you expect? I mean, that's
This is now the tomfoolery show. Sorry.
No, it's
the
KOE
tomfoolery.
No.
I was about to say, I mean, Tom,
I dare you take over for Phil.
Star of the Dog and Chicken Show over here, Phil KOE. I mean, like it took some doing.
Tony's all quiet.
Final topic. I'm going to throw.
Go for it.
I'm going to throw this to Tony. This one's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm gonna need producer. I'm gonna need a Jamie pull that shit up here pretty soon.
Yes, the king of the ethereal, Phil
God,
KOE.
don't encourage him. Stop it.
Thank you.
Anyway,
thank you. After I conquered the ethereal realm, chicken, they need to know of my exploits. And I'm the king of the evolved. Come on now. See, Mutegate is real.
Producer, mute him. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We don't need Mutegate to go gone. We don't.
The impeachment hearings are around the corner.
Okay, the final topic in this one's probably, I know all of us have seen this, heard this, the doctor video that got removed, and I'm going to start with Tony on this one. So it was Trump tweeted it. It had like 17 million views, and then Donald Trump Jr. retweeted it.
We got to drink twice. Man.
Yeah, we got to drink a couple. I'm opening this 18-year, so be patient. I'll catch up on my drinks.
18-year.
The Abalur 18-year scotch.
I blew her.
Abu
Dhabi.
I blew her. She was 18. It's okay. You can't arrest me. I blew her.
That's where we're going. I don't want to buy the 15 anymore now.
And you thought I was going to say the most
15 will get you
controversial
20,
thing tonight.
goddammit.
Len, I do
the
appreciate
high-minded content you get here on the Dog and Chicken
They'll
Show.
put you on that island with Epstein.
I was going to say, Tom, are you sure you want to call this the tomfoolery show now?
Yeah.
Only the best adrenochrome comments.
Yeah.
I do not endorse this message.
There you go.
Bringing it back full circle.
Okay.
Ultra white man
President
does not endorse this message.
Anyway, so everybody knows what I'm talking about at this point. If you haven't seen this, you're living under a rock, because that's all that's been on the news for the last week. So, Tony, how in depth are you on this? What do you know about it? What have you read? What have you seen? What have you heard? And how do you think this is going to play out?
I didn't follow it very close because at this point, I mean, honestly, basically, we're almost in August, and we're 6-7 months into this thing now, and the stigma following the president and any mentions of any medicinal ideas or doctor recommendations, basically, it gets ignored by about half the population, and then the other half takes it like gospel, like, holy shit, I didn't realize this, but Donald Trump is basically a fucking 8-year, master degree, doctor, surgeon. He was even a nurse in Cambodia for a summer. I mean, the guy is just brilliant. It's ridiculous. Why weren't we listening to this guy 30, 40 years ago? But Scouts on it. I didn't follow it real close just because I knew it was going to be one of those stupid fucking snowball stories to the point where one person pumps it up to be something it's not, and then the other side defends it to the fucking death. Like, no, you don't understand what he really meant. And then the other side comes back with, well, I actually do really know what he really meant, and you don't know what he really meant. So, I did see it, but I do anticipate hearing a little more in-depth thoughts, and I will definitely go from there. But I just didn't pay that close attention to it.
Producer Lynn's gonna post a link in, or he'll forward it to me, one of the two. But we'll post a link. You're gonna have to pop up because we're seeing some of the comments already pop up. I see Witch Doctor.
I'll just kind of read it out because I'm at 15%. So, like, one of the head doctors.
So who's this from? This is from Daily Beast.
The Daily Beast.
Okay.
So it's not the greatest, but it's the first thing I typed in because I heard this was.
This is
I just
funny
typed
shit.
in one of the, what do they call them? The frontline doctors is what this.
6 inches from your face.
Yeah, 6 inches.
A fist from your
Basically.
You know how fun it is for me to do the Joe Rogan thing where I like grab the mic and put it in front of somebody's
fucking
mouth.
great.
Like I did it to Tony a couple of weeks ago. It was great. I love it.
They call these guys that came up for the press conference were the frontline doctors of America or some shit like that, right? Well, they said Orange Man, his new favorite COVID doctor, believes in alien DNA, demon sperm, and hydroxychloroquine. So apparently she'd been quoted before. She's out of Houston. Praises the same drug. I'm trying to read down here a little bit, so bear with me. Where the fuck did she say this shit? Okay.
Yeah, she had
Has
said
made-
sleeping with
including
demons would make you sick.
Yeah, I see it in the comments. Melanie's
alien
posting.
DNA and physical effects of having sex with witches and demons in your dreams. So, okay. Yeah, fuck that lady. She's fucking weird.
Well, to me, I'm just
witch doctor.
I'm just sitting here like I'm of two minds here. There's one of like, well, boy, howdy, I'm sure none of this is taken out of context. I'm sure this is the absolute truth. There was no metaphorical speech or anything like that. I'm sure this is, from God's mouth to our ears. I'm sure there's none of that. And then my other temptation is, I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's my other temptation there. It's like, damn it, I've got a chance to throw in some old school timey music. But that's
She's also been quoted saying that the government is run in part not by humans but by reptilians and other aliens.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, baby.
So, producer, if you can pull up that link and maybe share that one on the
Please Google
screen
it.
there.
My phone's down.
Yeah, take that out of context.
Oh, she's a preacher. She's a preacher. Well, let's be frank.
Stick that in your cornpipe and smoke it.
Some preachers do say some shit that in any other kind of context would sound a little.
AKA witch doctors.
So,
ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang, walla walla bing bang.
the fuck.
Just trying to do the scary.
Oh,
thing.
thanks, Grip Paranormal. Did someone say witches? God damn it, Grip. Yeah, Grip Paranormal. God damn it. But understandable. No, this isn't good. But okay, Trump retweeted somebody. Like, is this the level of guilt by association that we're going to now? I mean, if that's the case, Tom, you're basically a far right wing extremist because, I mean, you were even in the same frame as the great Phil KOE. I mean, if that's the level of guilt by association we're going with,
He's not wrong.
He is wrong because
And as our POTUS, I demand you answer for this.
Yeah, what do you say? And who's your vice president, by the way? I forgot.
As if she didn't actually say these things, though. Like there is a lot of recordings of this woman saying ridiculous things, and then for her to come out like, "I'm a doctor, see the white coat? Now that's how you can tell that I have authority, and now you should take hydroxychloroquine."
Whoa!
All good. She's got it here. She's got it here.
There was 50 of me for 1 second. You're congratulations.
You were
guys.
super
You're
excited,
welcome.
weren't you?
We were part of the
She's
infinite
homophobic,
continuum.
too.
So meet Trump's new favorite doctor, Dr. Stella Emanuel. Stupid ads. That's the bad thing about Daily Mail.
His
What
new
in the
favorite.
fuck is that?
You'll never believe what happened next. Click here.
Yeah. Anyway, preacher who uses alien DNA
Doctors
as a
hate
medical treatment blames witchcraft for illness and wrongly says wrongly says hydroxychloroquine can cure COVID-19. So that's where this conversation's going to lead. No matter, this lady's
Here we
crazy.
go.
I don't think there's any debate. This lady's crazy, but this goes back to the HCQ fucking debate. Now, if you say this is a cure, if you come out and say, now we're talking about an article, and that's why I wanted it pulled up on the screen before we talked about it, because I have read reports that if you come out and talk about this without showing it and say you're talking about a news article on Daily Mail, which is clearly pulled up on the screen, you will get taken down. Don't want that to happen, of course. No, it's probably not a cure, but it's a treatment method. And yes, they were touting it as a cure incorrectly. There is no cure for COVID right now. So yes, it's, and then they start having a word salad with everything from here on out. So yes, they found the base premise, right? They found the base that yes, we can attack this lady. She's got kooky ideas. She's got crazy things going on, and she's talked about sex with aliens and all this other weird shit.
Oh, they're not attacking the lady.
Guess what? Guess what, Tom? It's another reason hydroxychloroquine is the devil. That's what's happening right now.
No, gay.
No. They are not attacking the doctor. They're not attacking hydroxychloroquine.
Dude, read that article. Tell me they didn't attack that doctor.
They are attacking the
shit out of her.
president who retweeted.
Even though she's batshit crazy, but she was attacked.
It said meet Trump's new favorite doctor, and then it talks about all the crazy shit she's involved in.
Yes,
they didn't talk about crazy
the
shit
only
Trump's
reason
involved
they're
in.
talking about it
Totally
is because
attacks her
you
character
retweeted
completely.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
The only reason they're
So-
talking about her is because he retweeted her posts.
How about-
her videos?
How about the other dozen legit doctors that were at that same conference and speaking similar messages, not calling it a cure necessarily, but were in contrary to what Fauci's saying and what the CDC is saying, other legitimate doctors. One, I believe, is the head of infectious disease at Stanford or Harvard. I can't remember, but he's like one of the most prestigious infectious disease doctors outside of Fauci.
Liberal school.
Well, no, but he was talking in favor of HQC.
That's why he ain't being attacked on this article.
Well, no. So the thing I wanted to point out is how this article and everything that you're seeing right now is just, oh, let's make fun of the crazy black lady that believes in witch doctor, aliens, and sex demons. But they're not talking about the real doctors that had real information and real concerns about how things are going right now. This is exactly what I talk about with fake news.
So I've read at least 12 studies on hydroxychloroquine. Some of them say that it is helpful and that it may be an actual cure. but pretty much all of them
Don't say that. It may be. You read an article that it may.
That's what
Don't
they
call
say.
it a
They say
cure.
it may be an actual cure, but they are like that in every longitudinal study with massive amounts of people. It's ended up killing people almost every single time, and that is the danger. Is some people it helps, other people it does nothing for, and then other people it actually kills them. And so this is the danger
what's killed people almost every single time?
I didn't say hydroxychloroquine's killed people.
I just heard you say it killed people almost every single time.
I'm saying like for other people. So for some groups of people, it helps them. For some groups, it does nothing, and for some groups, it kills them. That's what I'm saying, and that's what the
does
studies
it kill
have all
them, or
said.
does COVID kill them?
The hydroxychloroquine
yes.
killed them.
So it basically the science isn't already out there at all yet. So we're not.
No,
sure
the
if it kills them.
hydroxychloroquine.
It's 2020.
Has been
Science is subjective.
Because I'm pretty sure
Science
his
is
death
subjective.
certificate on whoever died didn't
Thank
say
you,
he
Tony.
died because of hydroxychloroquine. It was fucking COVID.
It
Depends if
will
you're in a
list
red
them
state
as
or a blue
COVID,
state.
yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry,
Yes,
Tom,
it
go
will
ahead.
still list them as COVID. That's not a problem. That's not a bad thing. To say that the hydroxychloroquine made their COVID worse and now they died from COVID, yes, like that's okay. But the hydroxychloroquine is what made them worse, and that's it means that it's not a good treatment for COVID. We got comments popping up like crazy, so. You just
I
wanna go
love
through
it. Love
some
it.
of
Let's go
those.
through some comments here.
Let's hear this shit.
I'm excited.
I'll just Joe Biden
how many
this
drinks
while
we
we
gonna
read
have
off the
from this,
comments.
though?
I'm going to Joe
Hey,
Biden
hey,
this mic.
for- Real quick, Tony. Next time we make drinking games, if you put Trump in there, you have to put.
God damn it.
Yep, exactly.
We'll
if you
start
put,
with. Yeah, go
you
ahead.
have
Sorry.
to put Biden in there. You have
Yeah.
to put Biden in
If
there
you're gonna
too.
put Orange Man, you better put Biden in too.
I'm not putting
Yeah.
Biden in anything, so you just take that
Okay.
out your mouth right now.
Start with
no.
Melanie.
I didn't have
It
any
says-
Biden in my mouth at all. I don't know what you're getting at.
Oh, below
Uh,
that. Yeah.
Bless his narcissistic heart.
Below that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So I just
Oh,
Melanie
God.
said a
Oh,
legit
fuck.
doctor would
He-
have walked away after that crazy woman had her crazy word vomit. And that's I agree that if I was a legit doctor, I would not have stayed for that conference and continued to talk after her in the same video, in the same press conference. I would have been like, oh, I'm
I
out.
don't think
like,
she talked about
I'm not-
alien blood semen during the press conference, though.
No,
No,
she
no,
didn't.
no. During the press conference, she was actually fairly decent through it. She was very dramatic, and that would have turned me off a little bit. But okay, who here works with zero crazy people? Raise your hand. Okay, thank you. But you still work with them, right? So, but yeah,
That's
in
me.
that press conference, she said zero shit that was that lunatic. The worst thing she said was, she said in her press conference that HCQ was a cure, and that's what she got tore up for. And then they dug into her history and tore her apart, and now it's a Trump thing. But anyway, keep going.
If I may inject here for just a moment, if you're good, again, we're kind of splitting some fine hairs. Now, cure, there is a very specific medical definition for that word. And I'm not defending this woman by any measure. Again, she's a pastor, so I imagine if you take some things that she says out of context, you're going to find some pretty crazy, loony things that she said. That's just the nature of that beast. But the word cure has a very specific medical definition. But if you're talking in the pedestrian sense, it really is, is this something that's going to solve your problem? Will the virus be completely wiped out of your body 100%? No. but there's a chance that this drug can solve your problem, which is, I think, the argument being put forward. Not saying whether it's valid or not, because, I have no way of knowing one way or the other. I'm just giving the argumentation standpoint there.
But the president said you should drink bleach.
No, he didn't.
Oh, shut the fuck up. He did not. Trigger warning. Oh, you just got me fucking fired up. I just barely heard that in the corner of my ear. Put my headphones on.
You are the fakest news that has ever faked your fakery.
Fake news.
Thank you.
So let's, John Peterson, you've seen Firepower Ministries with Dr. Stella Emanuel. You'll hear it from her mouth, and he's got several comments here. He also says it's a risk for malaria patients too, depending on their medical condition. Absolutely, hydro is not just given lightly. Exactly. Like I want to come back to it because it's 2020, obviously summer of love again, but summer of love 2020.
So fast.
Thanks, Lynn. But no, not only is news subjective depending on what state you live in or what ticket you fill out in November, but science has become completely subjective. And we used to just understand that, hey, you got a knife stabby there in your thigh. I could give you Tylenol. That's gonna help a little bit with the pain. It's not really gonna do anything for it. Or we could hot glue that thing shut and put some staples in it. Now, are either of those a cure? Does one work better than the other? That's where we're going with all of this, because the thing is, people keep forgetting about. This didn't pop up out of nowhere, and we just automatically had a cure for it. And it's like we're keeping it hidden away. Obviously, though, some conspiracy theorists would believe that we did. Now, a treatment and cure are completely two different things. We don't have a cure yet. We don't have a cure for the common cold. We don't have a cure for cancer. We don't have a cure for a lot of things that ail the general populace. Now, obviously, you catch corona, you are highly subjective if you already have a pre-existing medical condition. That's why we're talking about people who are asymptomatic being more subjective to it. It is what it is. You talk cures, you talk treatments. It's going to work different case to case to case to case to case. And that used to be understood. Like, that just used to be accepted. But now in 2020, the summer of love, that's not subjective. It's either black or it's white or it's up or it's down or it's left or it's right. There are no shades of gray. There's no degrees here because it's all about a fucking narrative push, because we all are fucking experts now on social media. So we're all pushing a different narrative. We all have different beliefs on what the treatment is, what the treatment isn't, who's behind it, who's not. So science and medicinal treatment have become not just subjective, but they've also fallen under the political banner. And it's a fucking shame. It really is, because people are defriending people on Facebook over this shit. That's how trivial and stupid this has become.
Don't defriend me. I'm wearing one. Don't defriend.
Oh, brother. There we go.
Why aren't you wearing yours?
Oh, I am. It's my face.
Oh, shit. Just pull your beard up, yo.
Well, it's not long enough anymore.
Yeah, I guess that qualifies as a
damn female barbers.
And yes, John Peter, not bleach, disinfectant. That's right. Yes, that was the quote. And
fake news.
That was another thing. I assume I know what he really meant, and it depends on who you are and what ticket you fill out. What did he really mean when he said what he said? And I could be wrong, but convalescent plasma may be the closest thing to a cure until a vaccine comes out, which seems to be ending 2020, beginning 2021. Well,
I'm glad John brought that up. Trump talked about that today. They're actually oh God, I'm going to get this wrong, but there's like a registry now that the government has set up for people who have recovered and have antibodies. They want your plasma, and they want you to sign up on this registry as plasma donors so they can get it to the places they need it the most. So, hey, shit on Trump all you want, drink. But He's recognized it. He's talking about it. If you noticed with his reintroduction of his daily briefings, they're very scripted, and he stopped calling on the reporters that just cause problems. He doesn't call on CNN right away just to cause drama. He's calling on the reporters. But if you don't know how these White House briefings go, all these reporters like submit their questions before. They submit their questions before the briefing, so they all get to see them ahead of time. So like that was always the criticism I had of Orange Man was, you know, they're going to ask you a stupid question, so you're just egging it on, and you know it's not going to go well. So stop asking CNN a question if you know it's a dumbass question. But so now I've noticed all these briefings, he's only asking questions that are actually not only good questions. You're hearing actual questions that aren't politically based.
Not gotcha questions.
Yeah, not a gotcha question. You're seeing questions that are actually informing the American public on the government stance on things. So I'll give him a little bit of props on that. As much as I hated him stopping him, I almost hate him starting him again, because I know he is a glutton for punishment, so it's a matter of time before these go south.
Bernie, you gotta slow down, man. I am barely making it with all of your freaking trigger words right now. Okay, you gotta. My cheeks are turning all red. I like, this is getting rough for me. Okay, I'm trying to make words come out of my mouth.
You gotta
and
take
sound
it easy.
intelligent at the same time.
Now,
Bernie, take
Tom,
it
I'm
easy.
sorry that you got
Tequila.
involved with trying to go drink for drink with a bunch of asshole Nebraskans.
Toasty tequila.
Somebody should have warned
Sorry,
you.
I chose tequila to do that with. So.
Yeah, you should have. You should have gone with beer.
As long as tequila doesn't make your clothes go off, I think we'll be all right.
You know, I
that's what
saw
I'm waiting for.
I went to.
Whoa, bro.
Whoa, bro! I went into Lynn's little. He's got a little bathroom over here. It's not a full bath; it's a half bath.
It's a rape room.
It's a rape room. Oh, Jesus Christ! But anyway, I go in and they have this little placard on the wall and says "Get naked," and then underneath of it says, "No, this is only a half bath. Don't make things weird." Loved it. That was hilarious. We need one of those in every half bath across America.
Yes. And I give the wife credit on that. That wasn't my idea at all, but she made that sign.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She needs to make me one. I like it.
All right. I will just tell her to give it to you, and she'll just make another one.
All right. Deal. Anyway, sorry. Segue.
If she's watching, she might be. I mean,
anything else? We got some questions. Tom,
we did have
going,
one up
Tom?
above.
he's going to get
I
drunk
thought
if you don't quit, Bernie.
I thought that was gonna be a "Where are you from, Tom?" But then I read it and I was like, "Oh,
That's a boy.
Here, did we address this one? Let me find it. I don't think we touched on this, and I know this could potentially be ridiculously long, but Jake asks, so I just missed like 10 minutes. I want to hear everybody's opinion on mask mandates. Let's keep this as quick as possible.
Drink.
Rabble.
Twice.
Rabble,
Because one, he
rabble.
typed it, and two, Tony said it.
Argument.
No, let's go around the room. Let's do this. Let's. God.
It's mandatory for work.
Oh, hang on.
Matt.
Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
John has a good point. Let me put that up. Half baths are called washlets. There you have it. Mystery solved, guys.
There it
Well,
is.
we
Chicken, you
come
walked
from the
into a
half bath,
washlet?
God damn it!
And now we all just learned
I'm
something
not going to
today.
call it a washlet. I'm not going to call
Hey.
it a washlet.
A washlet
I
sounds
will.
like something. It's like a fucking private part or something. It's like, hey, don't be grabbing my washlet.
Okay, real quick, I
Sounds like
want to thank
something
everybody.
you forget when you go to work. A washlet.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, I forgot my washlet.
I
Thank
want to
you,
thank
Rose.
everybody from the tomfoolery audience that is normally in my audience. I appreciate you guys coming over to check out the Dog and Chicken Show. Hit the what's it called, the subscribe
Like.
button, hit the follow button, hit the like button, hit all the thumbs up buttons, and all of that stuff.
Tom's forgetting how to say like, share, subscribe. This is fucking awesome.
That too.
Tom's pushing the thumbs up because he's right. It does push the algorithm more when you get more thumbs up. So
Yeah. Get them
There you have
thumbs up there.
And yes,
Yeah,
everybody.
I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to thumb up.
Thank you for coming here and joining us this evening. But okay, so Tom,
I'm
why don't you
thumbing up
so-
right now and loving it.
all right,
why don't you
we're
kick
gonna
us
do
off
the
this topic?
we're
What
gonna do
your thoughts-
the face
Okay.
thingy opinions. Let's hear
There we go.
POTUS Tom.
POTUS Tom.
POTUS Tequila Tom.
Nice.
Everybody should wear a mask.
Beeping lungs.
Oh God, I'm gonna clip that up, Tom. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Right now, you look like somebody should be going, Grandma, what big ears you have. All the better to hear you, my dear. Like you look like somebody in Little Red
Hey.
Riding Hood. Like,
Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah, I got the joke.
Hey, Phil, I see Mike Mika's in the chat. Should I have him call in?
that's cool. That's all right. That's all right.
That's fucking awesome last night.
Anyway, okay, back to the subject at hand. Let's go to Tony.
That was just as great as.
I don't know if you guys are gonna believe me when I say this, but I'm kind of in the middle on the whole mask mandate thing. I
Drink.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The eternal fence rider strikes again, but I get it. I've mentioned this before, but people who have respiratory issues already don't need the added danger of somebody who does not give a flying fuck that they're a carrier going around and spewing shit, because some people are like that. You know, we saw that here in small town Nebraska, a month or two ago. Somebody who was blatantly trying to be an asshole about it in a small town setting. Yeah. People who are susceptible to something like that, they don't need that extra fucking danger in their life, right? So that's fine. I can understand that. But at the same time,
would have been though.
Man, yeah, it does tread a bit on your individual liberties, but that's fine. But then again, you look at the fucking door in any business you walk into and it says no shirt, no shoes, no shirt, no service. Is this really any fucking different than that? Like, if this thing went on for like 10 years and you just kind of became accustomed to it, is it really any fucking different than that? A little, but over time, it's not really that fucking different. Until we have a handle on it, I mean, I can totally understand the reasoning behind it. I'm not for it per se, but I can totally understand the logistics and the idea behind it. So regardless, if it does become a mandate, I don't care either way. I'll do it. It's not that big of an inconvenience to me, and I'm not going to be that fucking butthurt over it if I have to put on a fucking mask to go into Walmart. It is what it is.
Drink.
Yes. All right, who's turn on the?
Let's go over to Tom. Tom, I think we know Tom's basic policies on it right now with his current situation, but
yes, I do believe people should wear a mask. I think if the government tells us that when we go out in public, that we should wear pants and that we should have clothes on, I think that it would be well under their rights to tell us that we should also put on a face covering at the same time. I understand that lots of people think like, oh, well, it's my right to not have to wear a mask. Like, I think that the government has already, dang it. I'm sorry. My cup's empty. I will catch up in a minute, but
you're fine. Keep going.
I think that the government has already set precedent on whether or not they can tell us to wear things. And so at this point, they can tell us to wear it, and especially when it comes to a business. If I run businesses, if I want to protect my customers, if I want to protect my employees, I'm going to tell people to wear a mask, and only because the science. Dang it! I got 3 down now. A face covering, and it only because the science says that that's what we need to do right now. Whether you ask the World Health Organization, the Surgeon General, or the CDC, currently, as of right now, it may change later, but as of right now, they are all in. They all agree that we should wear face coverings. And so I'm going to go with what they're saying right now. COVID-19 is progressively changing. We get new information. We get new science. It's something that's new to the entire science community. And so we're going to have to wait for their information to progress, for their science to progress. And then we're going to go with whatever they have, the best information that they have at that moment.
Melanie makes a good point
okay,
here.
so let me address this real quick. I have a big long post. If you go to my Facebook page,
Melanie says in the comments, Tom, for those just listening, Melanie chimes in, Tom, you wore a mask religiously, but still contracted COVID-19.
You had to read it out loud,
go ahead,
huh, Tony.
Yes, I was one of the most
audio
careful
listeners.
people you could possibly imagine. I made sure I wore gloves. I made sure I wear masks. I changed. I changed my gloves.
Come out of my mouth. You gotta take it easy.
Intelligent at the same time, but
you're fine.
On whether or not they can. And so at this point, they can't tell us to wear it, and especially when it comes to a business. I was more
Tom
people
Inception.
you could possibly imagine. I made sure I wore gloves. I made sure I wear masks. Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, it was like you were double.
That was a technical error on my part.
Okay.
I was so fucking freaked out there, guys.
I was too until I realized I was like, oh shit, I hooked my Bluetooth up.
I thought it was a joke where I said I'm trying to make intelligent words come out of my mouth. I was like, oh, they recorded this one and are playing it now when they press the button. Okay.
Yeah, he's totally fucking with you, man.
So no, folks, that was my bad. Technical error on my end. Tom, go ahead, continue.
So I was one of the most careful people you could possibly imagine. But in a post where I talk to people about how there are these small moments, there are these small seconds there where you choose to be a little careless and you choose to pull your mask down for a second because it's uncomfortable, or you choose to scratch your mustache real quick, or you walk into the gas station and realize, oh crap, I left my mask in the car. You know what? It'll be fine for just these few seconds. And then you go in. The only time face coverings actually work is if everybody wears it. It's true. Face coverings do not do all that much for one person. If I'm one person in a room of 50 people and I'm the only one who's wearing a face covering, then I am not all that protected. I am only protected just a little bit more every time somebody else wears it, and it makes that much more of a difference if everybody joins in together. Especially as a conservative, when I make these arguments all the time that I don't need the government to tell me what to do and I don't need the government to protect me. As a conservative, I should be buying into the whole face covering idea because I am showing that I'm willing to protect me and my community by myself without the government mandating it. But if you refuse to do it until they come out with a mandate, then that's when we're going to have a problem. So I will fill my glass back up. I got 5 that I missed out on, and then I'm going to fall over and pass over. I'm going to go ahead and say good night to everybody because I'm going to pass out in just a couple seconds. So,
hey Tom, let's make it 6. Mask.
Oh no.
Mask Trump freedom.
Son of a bitch, you went fucking triple.
Phil, hey, there's other people on this show.
And then Bernie chimes in too, because Bernie.
Because Bernie.
But hey, Tom,
thanks. You guys, I'm almost empty here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy. I'm telling you, I'm fucked up.
That's what we do here. So between me and Lynn, okay. Let's bring out
Our battle damage.
So our crown bottle. Now this wasn't completely full, but it was pretty close to
like
full.
3/4 maybe.
Yeah. So we got about a quarter of a bottle of Crown in. We got a half a bottle of Jura in, and
That's
we
good, by the way.
did bust into the Abelure 18, which we just kind of tickled into
Dude,
that one.
if I was to say one's better than the other, I would definitely pick this over that fucking expensive fucking shit that he just got.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, I'm
So
sorry,
the-
man. Money doesn't buy you fucking taste.
So this bottle is about $140. It's good. I'm not gonna
good.
lie. It's
Dude,
good.
Dude, it's good. But dude, that shit's smooth.
Hey,
That-
it is.
Comparison.
That
It's
Jura
fucking-
superstition.
Dude,
I'm
it
telling
goes
you.
down smooth and it's nice.
But hey, Tom, we
It's
do
fucking-
appreciate you swinging through this evening, and I'm going to try and catch you tomorrow.
It pats your bottom.
Yeah.
But
All right, Tom, are you departing for the night? Is it?
No,
is
I'm
that-
not really departing.
Oh, okay, you
I,
bastard.
I will
Let's
stay on
finish
as long
this.
as I'm blackout drunk. I will still be.
all right.
All right, all right.
Can I talk
Well,
about
okay.
my,
Let's talk
Face
about the
covering?
face covering
All right,
thing.
my-
Lynn's turn.
All right, so I'm gonna just kind of go with my opinion after the fact. I just tell you like what I'm dealing with in a personal level. Like when I go to work, all right, they had a mandate, everybody had to wear one, right? But they were like, the CDC recommends that you make your own, so we made them, and they weren't. A lot of people were like cutting sleeves off their shirts, putting them over their face, and just doing whatever, to get by with the standard. And then all of a sudden, they issued us 2 white masks. And I work in a shop, and in that shop, we're working on big trucks, and you're fucking dirty as shit. By most of the day, your mask looks like assholes. It's just you got grease and grime and all kinds of stuff. So your white mask looks like shit. So then they just stopped wearing them. Everybody just stopped wearing them for like 2 weeks straight because the state of Missouri just said, you know what? Fuck COVID. Everything's fine. And they opened everything up, and people were going out and having parties, and fucking Osage Beach made the news, and there was all kinds of crazy shit going on. And then it was about a week or 2 ago, they were like, what the fuck are you guys not wearing them shits anymore? And then they issued us 2 more. And so now we even signed for them on a hand receipt. It's funny. It's fucking military shit, man. I ain't gonna fucking divulge too much. But we're all wearing them. If we're within the 6 feet, if you're closer than 6 feet and working together, you have to wear them. That's fine. We've been wearing them. Been doing the standard and trying to do our social distancing as much as possible. But I'm just thinking, all right, it's a little fucking nuts because I go upstairs and I watch the head office and it's no masks. Sorry, I got a drink now.
He said it. Son of a-
I'm not diming out my leadership at all, but you go upstairs and nobody in the offices are wearing anything. They're fine. They're cured because they make more money than us. So I thought it was funny.
It's really interesting. So I'll jump into kind of my face covering story, avoiding the M word as much as possible. But my prior job, my
limbo job.
My limbo job. My prior work would have required a lot from me on it, which I have a little bit in food industry and other things. So I was used to wearing hair nets. I was used to wearing beard nets if I kept my beard too long or facial hair too long. So, some of these things didn't really bother me because I get the safety aspect, especially in the food business. Like I get it. But then the things that bothered me was how it changed from week to week. and we had the Attorney General tell us, no, don't do this, don't wear them. And then Fauci saying, yes, wear them. Now apparently this week he said you need to wear goggles if you're that concerned. But Jesus fuck. Yeah, Jesus fuck. Hopefully that never sees
That'll
the light
be
of day.
mandatory in my fucking line of work.
But no, it's just. But I get it. It's twisted by the media and politics to a certain extent, to where most of it's not real. Most of what we've been told isn't real. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to wear them.
I have an analogy.
Well, hang on. Let me get in here first, guys.
Well, let me finish.
Let Chicken
fuckers.
finish.
So it's a position where you're put in. And for me personally, it's a position you're put in where you like both sides are getting their talking points in, but it's what is real. Yeah, you should probably wear one when somebody asks you to wear one. If your local government asks you to wear one,
there you go.
You need to question the validity of it. Okay, am I in a high population area? Am I going to be around that many people? So, I live in South Dakota, and I found it fascinating. My drive down here, I stopped in Kansas City to fill up with gas.
Mass Central.
Oh, fuck, yeah, drink. But
sorry, not sorry.
But yeah, Kansas City was all about it. Like everybody, and nobody was trying to disobey at all. Like it was posted all over the goddamn place in Kansas City. So hey, I brought my little handy dandy thing because I know we're going to Lowe's and Menards, which I think they require
don't give
it.
a shit, but I don't know. I've been there.
Where I live, they do. So. But where I live also, they don't give a shit in most places. So, I'm seeing businesses saying yes and no. So now what I find fascinating is we all have one in our back pocket. And if you don't, you go, God fucking damn it. I wanted to go get a pack of smokes yesterday before I came down here. This is a true story.
Didn't have one.
I was in Sioux Falls, and the gas station I pulled up to had a sign up saying, I can't come in unless I'm wearing one. I was like, well, you lost my business. I guess I'll drive down to the next gas station. It's a minor inconvenience. Like, I wasn't mad at him, but I could see how these could turn into major inconveniences. And now... we can take it to the next step. Tom, I know you did a podcast on schools opening. My son has asthma and skin conditions. I have elected to not put my child in school, being the hardcore right-wing son of a bitch that I am. I'm actually pretty lefty for the most part, but you watch this show, you all probably think oh, God, Mika's calling. Mika, hold on,
Mika.
I got to screen. I got to screen him first.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But no, I actually elected not to put my kid in school because of his medical conditions, and wearing a mask all day with a skin condition can cause issues that they won't catch during the school day. Yeah. So he's gonna have to school from home. And so me being more on the right leaning part of this and wanting to encourage people that masks are, I said it, I honestly think they're a little bit of an infringement on your rights unless you're going into a business. I agree with the business part. Like Lynn said last week, you walk into my house, take off your fucking shoes. Hey, like it's the same aspect of that, but then when it comes to my child's health, no, I'm just not gonna let him come to your house, and he's gonna stay home because I'm gonna keep him healthy because I don't give a fuck about your school, I don't give a fuck about your business at that point, so It's different for everybody. Tony, you bring this up all the time. We're all in the same boat, but we're not.
No, we're all in the same storm. We're all in different fucking boats. Like the storm's above head, but we're not all on fucking luxury yachts. Some of us are in canoes. The analogy I was going to make, and then I know Phil had something he wanted to say, but the analogy I was going to make, I was watching the Avengers the other night, and you're looking at
Which
like
one?
Iron Man, who's just straight up Avengers, just the first one.
Ooh, oh.
And you're looking at Captain America, right? And he's got this badass fucking shield. Like it deflects everything if he gets it in the way of it. And then in comes Iron Man into the frame. Yeah, his suit deflects everything. And you're like, why didn't he make one of those suits for fucking Captain America? Because then like he'd be even more badass and helpful and useful. And it's kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, a mask isn't going to fucking protect all of your body, but it is going to protect some of it. So while you might not think it's important to somebody else. And that is the thing I bring up a lot. We're not all in the same boat, but we all are in the same storm. So if it does put somebody else who might be at a higher risk than you a little bit at ease, it's not as big an inconvenience as some people want to make it out to be. I understand it is a bit of a liberty thing, but fuck, man. Hard times. Go ahead, Phil.
Definitely hard times. I personally, again, hard to believe that Phil KOE might be a bit of a contrarian. I know. You're all quite shocked, but me, I've actually been frequenting businesses that don't require masks, and those are the ones that I've been shopping at and giving my money to. So I haven't been to Walmart in probably a month and a half, 2 months. I haven't been to a single Walmart. Been going to local grocery stores, and they actually have creative solutions as well. They actually give 5% discounts to anybody coming in that wears masks. If you don't choose to wear one, you just pay standard price. So it's actually kind of a creative solution, but that's what I've been supporting. And when I go to stores, I just generally stay away from people, just stay 6 feet away. And that's generally enough. And that's the only time I've worn a mask was when I had to for my daughter's play a few days ago. That's the first time I'd worn a mask in some time. So that's, I'm a farmer. I'm out in the middle of the field most of my day. I'm generally not around folks. That's how I live my life, but I also realize that agriculture is about 3% of the human population at this point. So
yeah, no, I can appreciate that.
So it's me personally. I have one mask that I keep around, and I generally don't. I haven't worn it too much because when you're out in the middle of a cornfield, I don't know if there's anybody to breathe on you.
All right, everybody out there listening, go out there and hug a farmer. They might need COVID.
Yeah, no, don't
COVID.
hug. Do the demolition man. Do the wave high five.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Lynn. God, you asshole. Jesus. In fact, no.
Hey, I'd rather be an asshole than a whole ass.
No, all right. I'm actually pouring a little bit of Everclear on my rag here. And I am wiping my microphone down so you can't give me COVID through the. No. I did that shit to Tom accidentally. Fuck you. You ain't putting that shit on me.
No, dude. I'm waiting for one of the listeners to come out and just give you a big hug. And they're gonna see you at Casey's and be like, "Hey, what's up, Phil?" And then just big old hug. It'll be like Jake or somebody. Trust me.
Well, I mean, who doesn't love a hug? I mean, even though they're not very much in vogue right now, I do understand they're not very popular at the moment, but hey, I still appreciate the sentiment, everybody out there in the KOE Nation.
Tom, you still with us?
Thank you, Mike Mika. Yeah, farmers are so
Tom about me fitting pass out.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go.
How many fingers am I holding up, Tom?
I don't know. All right, guys. Go check out Foolery Tom. It's on all the networks. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey, thanks for joining us, POTUS.
Yes. President Tequila.
Toasty.
Toasted Tequila Tom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Toasted tequila.
Yeah, triple T.
Hey,
El Presidente.
Tom, I really do
President
appreciate
Tequila.
you jumping on the show. I appreciate you jumping in. You're not a big drinker. We obviously are. So
I
He's
tried.
gonna get off and cuss like a sailor. Trust me.
I'm never going on this show ever again.
That'd be the best
Then
course
we've
of action. for
I
all of
am
us.
cutting that out for sure now.
That's an
Tom.
accomplishment in and of itself. We don't kick people off the show. They themselves just go, I am never coming back here ever again. Oh my God. That's how.
I never.
Oh shit!
Triple T.
I'm still fighting the
thank you,
producer.
Jake.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say as Tony still fighting the producer, but she's coming with me. Sorry, guys.
I know.
You guys,
I didn't know if she was
it's
still.
It's all good.
It's all you, Tony.
Bye, Rose Jamie.
Yes, in all seriousness, everybody go check out Tomfoolery. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. You can listen to the Tomfoolery podcast on all podcast platforms. We just did a more recent episode where we explain systemic racism for everybody. And so it's a very intricate episode. Normally, I'm debating people on the left and on the right, and I have lots of interesting conversations with people. And then on top of that, as I'm out with coronavirus, I will continue streaming literally every night. So come have these long conversations with us as well. Hope to see you there. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Hey, Tom. Appreciate it as always. You're a trooper, man. Thanks for
I do have one more question for Tom before he leaves.
I did not listen to Nirvana.
You did not
or
do your
what is
fucking
it?
homework?
I didn't do my homework.
You didn't listen to Metallica Nirvana.
Metallica.
Motherfucker. God damn it,
Metallica?
Tom.
Metallica.
Nirvana.
Hey, real
Do
quick.
your homework, Tom.
Real quick, Tom. I got Mika on the line here.
Okay, let's go.
Mike,
He ain't got time.
Mike, can you hear us?
Mika.
Mike, can you hear us?
All right, well, that was fun, guys. See you later.
Yeah. Apparently.
Later, man.
I'm just kidding.
No, he was busy fucking texting.
How about now? There he is. Nope, he hung up.
Mika.
Mika.
Okay,
God damn it,
trying to
Bernie.
Kill me before I freaking get on.
Bernie gonna take advantage of all of us.
So I sent Mika my personal cell phone to call so I can put him in on Bluetooth on here because he actually had a good question, but
Let's go, Mika. Call again.
but
Buddy.
he's trying to do a FaceTime call. Call my cell phone, dude.
Just call the number.
Anyway, Tom, appreciate you jumping on as
Nobody
always.
remembers how to do
Check out Tom Foolery podcast. We frequent it between myself and Phil. Tony, have you been on there yet?
I was really hoping I was going to get to the last couple nights, but yeah, kids
It's
didn't
been
allow
up
for
about.
that.
I've been up over 2,000% for about 3 months straight. So it really is growing at a rapid rate. But right now I'm just streaming. So come watch a hungover Tomfoolery tomorrow. And we'll see you there.
I got a few nights.
Hey,
I got a few
hey,
nights
me and
next
Lynn-
week for sure. I'll be able to jump on with
Hey,
you.
we
Tom.
ain't got shit going on too much in the morning.
Yeah.
We'd probably jump in on you.
Yeah,
That didn't sound good, but you know, yeah. We double team your ass.
Well,
Tom,
it'd be
yeah,
special.
well, you still can, man.
Yeah,
Run!
that's my cue. Later,
We're
guys.
young,
Have
let's
a good
do it.
night.
Yeah,
All right.
dude.
Nice,
Show
See you,
me
Tom.
is different.
Good night, Tom. All right.
All right. I think that's probably
And then there were
about the
4.
right place. There surprisingly
been the
somehow
wrong
there's still
time.
7 fucking people watching. I don't know how or why there's still
We got
people
14
watching.
on
but,
ours.
because they are seeing this
Oh,
gorgeous
that's
mug,
right.
Phil KOE, and they're thinking, I need to go over to KOE Nation on YouTube and like, share, subscribe. That's really the best thing that I could possibly do. And also,
So you just scared one viewer away, but Tony's
Yes.
now Jamie, by the way. So
Yeah.
Got
All
it.
right, Jamie,
All right.
Tony, or Tony,
Well, I mean,
Jamie.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a far
Bet Tammy.
if you're a far lefty, the best thing you could do to protest Trump is to hit like, share, subscribe. If you're a far right winger, the best thing you could do to show your support for Trump is to like, share, subscribe. Either way, basically
Video
just
chat.
smash that like button, folks. Nice. Yes, high-minded content we get here. So, do we have
All right.
Mr.
Can we get audio on him?
Mika coming up, folks? That is happening very soon. Yeah, and like,
Maybe.
Tony, cut me off.
get this
the
Melanie,
screen for
get
a
this
second.
Melanie comment up.
Sorry.
Ah, yes.
Now I gotta-
yeah. I can't believe
you got Tom drunk. You guys are terrible influences. All right, so let's just explain this right here, right now. Those of you who aren't familiar with us in the real world, we are all
What?
mostly from Nebraska or originating from the Midwest and Nebraska state likes. There's not a lot to do around this place except for drink and farm and drink, and a lot of us are doing it at the same fucking time. That's the old joke. It's not recommended, but some of them do it. But yes, we are a little seasoned when it comes to the alcohol. We all get a very early start in middle school. Some of us do anyway. But yes, we are very seasoned drinkers around these here parts, if you will. What do we in? Here you go. Let's just prove it. Because I'm drinking and I'm bored and, freedom. There you go. That just fucking, yep, fellow Nebraska
Yeah.
right there.
Now,
proves it.
Melanie, Henry, you say I am a bad influence on Tom. Why, miss? I resemble that remark. Flattery will get you nowhere, miss. I mean, that
At
was
least he
fun.
chose good tequila.
That was actually really fun. First time I've ever gotten Tom drunk. If you
Yeah,
did
that was
not
good.
see me on the Tom Foolery show, he had some pretty funny stories from the past. It was a pretty good time. So, yeah, you need to get on there sometime with him too. It'll be a good time. So, but drink, farm, and fuck. That's really about it.
And we're back.
I think chicken was okay. I thought you were waving at me.
Yeah, Tony,
So,
I commented and it came out thick, but drink, farm, fuck.
Yeah, here's the exact quote.
Drink, farm, fic.
Drink, farm, fic.
I think we
Hey,
all.
Lynn, let's talk about that. What's this mean?
What's a
well,
fic?
See,
Let's
look,
talk about it.
fuck. See, I corrected myself. See, you drink, you farm, you fuck. And 2 out of 3 ain't bad because I didn't farm.
Have you ever
Oh,
planted like a
God.
tomato plant or a pumpkin or something, like a watermelon?
Well, no, yeah, maybe no.
All right, there
It's
you go.
a-
That's farming.
it's
I
a-
didn't really farm much.
It's a bit more
all right.
complicated
I did
than
a
that.
little more drinking and a little
It's
more
not.
fucking and not as much farming. All right, I
You don't
did a
have to be
little bit.
good at
I
it, Phil.
dabbled in some farming.
Oh,
I
okay,
planted
I'll
a
give you
garden
that.
every now and then, but I did a lot more fucking and a lot more drinking than I did farming.
There you go.
Fair.
I mean,
All right, we got a caller or not?
three.
What do we got?
I feel like Larry King. Do we
I
have a
just
caller?
sent Mika couldn't figure out how to call my cell phone, so I just sent him a link to just join the show one video. If he's gonna come on here and talk shit, he better show his face.
Yeah, click the link,
Yeah,
Mika.
that's
Come on,
fair.
let's do this. Come on,
So
let's get
I-
that shit
All right,
up.
so
Dude, I
while-
haven't seen Mika
while
in
we're
like
waiting,
years, man.
while we're
Fucking
waiting, before I have to jump off, hang on. Oh well, Phil, I think this is going to be directed at you.
Oh,
Do you
Actually-
folks promote Monsanto free farming?
Actually, right now, I'm part of an independent seed provider group that's trying to do totally independent, high nutrient density grain right now. So, yeah, some of my most cutting edge stuff
good-
is
good time to
Monsanto-free.
plug Grow the Farm Up too.
Yeah. My brother's YouTube channel, Grow the Farm Up. He really gets into this and really dives deep into. We're going into regenerative agriculture where we have cover crops, so there isn't just barren soil sitting for months on end, and there's actually something on the soil that helps contribute. And we're actually getting away from chemical farming because we're using cover crops to actually leach nitrogen back into the soil. And that actually decreases what you have to spend in terms of nutrient packages. So in terms of now, yeah, I know all about Monsanto, and they've been in the industry, and yeah, it's one of those things that you're not going to be in the industry and not know about them, not be aware of them. And I've grown some of their crops before in the past. I've grown completely organic certified crops. I've grown, I mean, I've grown a pretty good cross section of it. My family's been farming in the state of Nebraska for 120 years now. So but we're getting away from the big ags, and we're starting to move to more independent-minded growers. So I hope that
in the 90s.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
Real quick,
Me in the 90s was the independent seed producer. That means I masturbated.
Oh God!
Nice. Hey, we got Mika joining us via telephone. I sent him a link. He said he was waiting, so I just called him direct because I didn't see him on the waiting list. So, Mika, how you doing tonight, brother?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Skeet.
Good. So you had sent a couple of questions that you wanted to ask, and you promised to be nice tonight. So, what questions did you have for us?
No, I already asked that question.
Well, ask it because I didn't announce it on
Yeah,
here.
you gotta ask them same question.
I can hear Phil in the background laughing his ass off.
That was Tony.
That was me.
Hello.
Oh, Tony.
I'm here, Mike. What do we got this evening? I feel like Larry King. Hey, we have a caller.
Are you there? Caller, hi. Phil Donahue.
And we lost our caller.
Yeah, I'm here. We're still.
I'm right here, sir.
Well, so Phil's asking. What questions do you have for us?
No, I don't have any questions for you guys. I just love joining in on you guys' conversation because I hear the crap from everybody from left to right. Now I'm right in the middle, and it's like, CNN is bullshit and Fox is bullshit, and I'm just right in the middle. I'm really tired of all this bullshit.
Well, Chicken, why don't you divulge what was Mike's question that he asked you?
So the question Mike had sent to me was, who are you voting for and why?
Right.
Damn it! I wish Tom was still here. Damn it! That's a perfect.
And I hate to put Tom in that situation.
I do.
Love you guys.
I want to.
And I don't know Tom like I know you guys, so because I could kick you guys in the nuts and you guys kick me in the nuts, and we all be good the next day.
Yeah,
That's the best way to know somebody is to kick them in the nuts.
Jake's got a pretty good comment here. Pull that up.
So while we're pulling up that comment,
Let's
Mike,
go around the table.
We're gonna go around the table and talk about who we're thinking about voting for. Granted, we're about 90 some days out, so our minds could change, obviously. But Mike, right now, I want to put that question back to you. Who are you thinking about voting for and why?
Holy crap! You know what? I want to actually dig the deepest hole in the ground and write my vote in, and then as about 6 foot deep, and then I want to write that vote in, and I want to bury it.
So you're saying you don't want to share who you're voting for?
No, I'm gonna vote for fucking Biden. and this is bullshit. And I hate that I'm going to do it because I've seen what I am an environmentalist. I'm actually not an environmentalist, but I care about the earth.
Sure.
And Trump has actually destroyed. They're trying to destroy everything here.
So for you, environmental issues are what's drawing your vote.
That's not the only thing, but
that's the main one. That's the first one you brought up. So you have an emotional, to me, what it sounds like, you have an emotional attachment to that piece. Am I right?
Well, yeah. Well, all right. Now I got kids, and I'm like, hey, you know what? And then, my kids, they're young kids, and they're like, hey, well, what are you doing, Dad?
I get it.
Now, but
I get where you come from. My kid asks me the same things all the time. My kid's always doing hey, Dad, why is this a big deal? Why is this a big deal? And you have to try to explain it to a young kid. Doesn't really understand the world or politics or all the shit that's going around in the world. So Mika, I appreciate your insight. I appreciate your question. I appreciate your answer. Let's get into the answers to Mika's questions. Who wants to go first on here? Who do you plan on voting for and why? Lynn's got his hand raised right away. Mika, again, thank you for calling in. So you want to say anything to the folks real quick before we let you go?
No, I'm so good. What you got? I'm on.
All right, listen in, buddy. Appreciate you calling in as always.
No.
All right. So I've given it a considerable amount of thought, and in my opinion, Joe Biden isn't all there. He's fucking he's about to fall asleep at the wheel. And if you're gonna give him the wheel while he's the president, he's gonna fucking crash that shit somewhere. Dude, god damn, he's fucking old as shit and done. He's done, son. They're walking him out. They're making him look like he's fucking an active human being, but no, he's in the depths of fucking being a senile old man, dude. He can't remember shit. He suffers from CRS, can't remember shit syndrome. All right.
I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah, CRS. Now Trump, dude, when he was campaigning at the beginning, I was complete libertarian. I was fucking Gary Johnson, 110%. Fucking hated Trump.
Even beyond Aleppo.
Why? All right. So the reason why I didn't like Trump, and it was based off of the only thing I knew Trump from was The fucking Apprentice. And I watched the goddamn show. I used to watch that show, and I fucking thought, dude, this guy's a fucking asshole. Everything about him is fucking stupid. He's a fucking dickhead from New York, blah, blah, blah. Fucking hated him. All right? And we had Trump presidency, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, dude's living up to his promises. He's doing what he's fucking saying he's doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't fucking hate on him for doing what he said he's going to do. And okay, well, fucking years go by and he's actually doing good things to fucking better our economy and create jobs for everyone in the spectrum, including our black brothers. Everything was going up and up and up. COVID happened. He got shitty deal. I mean, what are you gonna do? He's an asshole on Twitter and he's a fucking jerk. Okay. And he's totally fucking with you, man. Exactly.
So, no.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
No.
But dude, he's completely shithead on Twitter, and he says some things that he probably shouldn't have fucking said. But hey, give me a couple beers, I say some shit I shouldn't have said too. I don't believe half the hype that's anti-Trump, so I'm gonna say that I think he's gonna win, and I think I'm gonna end up giving his fucking vote because I want to see what the rest of the 8-year legacy will fucking pan out after he's done and make my judgment after the fact. And will I let the world burn because of my vote? I don't fucking know yet. But it's better than a senile old fucking dude who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground fucking winning. Because that's all I'm seeing out of Biden. Biden's just some tool that used to fucking work for Obama, who has no idea what the fuck's going on, who has people writing in on his Twitter fucking posts, and hasn't really actually made a real public statement in the last like 3 months. So yeah, I'm not going for Biden just based off of the fact that I don't know what the fuck that guy is, besides a guy that should probably be in a nursing home right now.
Ooh.
Real talk. 100.
Tony, what are your thoughts?
Lynn touched on a lot of my personal thoughts on it because, like, if you'd asked me 4 years ago, like, I was one of those people that I'm like, I can't believe this is the two options that we have, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. But, I mean, as a whole, if you look at what Donald Trump has done, you're like, he did a lot better job than I honestly expected. And that's not saying a lot. Now, don't get my words twisted. But coming into this, where we're at now, we touched on this last week. Joe Biden didn't even fucking campaign during the Democratic caucus. He just kind of said, "Are you guys all done? You done now? Okay, fine. Now I'm just gonna take it. I didn't want to do that. I didn't do it. I'm just gonna have it though now, so you can all see the door, and it's me now." And here we are. It's gonna be August, and we still have no fucking clue who his vice president would be. And for me, if you're actually asking me, if I had to fucking vote for sitting president Donald J. Trump or Joe Biden, how are you supposed to fucking vote for the new guy without even knowing who his VP is going to be? Because I've said this many a time. Anybody who is voting Joe Biden in November, you are not voting for Joe Biden. You're simply voting not Donald Trump. You're simply voting for whoever the fuck he names as his VP. Because the guy is on borrowed time. He will last maybe 2 years of a 4-year term. And John Peters says here in the comments, physically fit-wise, which one do you feel is healthier? Well,
Trump.
Yeah, it's Trump, because no, Joe Biden's mind is fucking gone. It's gone.
Corn pop.
He's completely out of it. He's not there. You can say all you want about the Don, about his word salad snafus and all the crazy shit that he writes on Twitter, and his broken promises here, and his endorsement of witch doctors. But fuck me. The stuff that Joe Biden says, like, the guy's confrontational too. You put that guy out in a fucking picket line or a rally, and he's confrontational. I don't think he's even remotely a good fit for the position. Not that necessarily Trump is, but Jesus Christ, Biden's not going to make it 4 years. And if it's me, if you want me to vote for one or the other, point blank, one or the other, I need to know who the VP is, and it has to be a home run. And judging by the caucuses and who ended up with the nomination, there's no way the DNC is going to knock this out of the fucking park. They're waving the white flag. That was giving Joe Biden the nomination. That was waving the white flag and said, hey, we'll see in 2024. Hopefully we can sneak AOC in there to fucking really stir some shit up. I couldn't vote for either one right now. Honestly, I'd skip. I'd write Phil in again.
Well, I appreciate your vote, good sir. I do, I do appreciate the fact that, hey, I got one vote for president. Like, if anybody ever gives me shit about what do you know about politics, I got a vote for president, motherfucker. How many votes did you get? Yeah, that's what I thought. I at least got one. So, okay. I'm going to be honest with you, gentlemen. I am planning an endorsement party. If Kanye West can do it, why can't I? But I'm just going to, exactly. But I just want to give the choice here. I want to give the juxtaposition. On Joe Biden's side, we have the person that is clearly the most pro-China candidate to run for president in the modern era, with all of the big tech companies that are behind him, that are all afraid to upset the Chinese government. And these big tech companies also influence our elections. Something to keep in mind. So that's the choice you have over here, is the most pro-China candidate we've had in the modern era. You could say that without a bit of hyperbole. Or over here, you have Donald J. Trump, the current sitting president, and everybody forgets the fact that 2 short months we were on the very precipice of a deflationary depression and an economic crash, the likes of which we have never seen, with a complete destruction of demand, empty interstates, and oil at negative $40, the resource that determines the totality of life on this planet, was completely out of whack, and the leadership of one Donald J. Trump clawed us back from the precipice. So I want you to keep those 2 choices in mind this fall when you're thinking about who you're going to vote for. Now, I'm not going to reveal who I'm going to vote for yet, but I think you might be able to derive who I'm thinking about.
The libertarian candidate Jorgensen, huh?
Yeah, who?
Yeah, he's Joe Jorgensen all the way.
Whoever. But so I just want you to think about those are your 2 choices. Is the pro-China candidate, where actually COVID-19 came from. Just
China.
You could actually say, without a lot of hyperbole, if you look at Joe Biden's Senate history, you could call him the China candidate, actually. So, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that folks could say that. You see what I'm doing there? I'm not saying it. I'm just saying folks could say that. So, and then you've got Donald Trump, who has, when people say, oh, he mishandled this COVID thing, he didn't do well with this. To me, that's just people having fun with words, just saying things, throwing together word salads because they want to. It has no connection to actual reality. So he's had tremendous leadership throughout this, and we've got this unknown who is favored by what I've already said. So those are the choices that we face this November. This is a pretty important one. And also Ruth Bader Ginsburg's health keeps. She's eventually going to have to step down eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is pretty important.
Again.
Voting wise, when it comes to me, Jesus, absolutely not Biden. And like
Jorgensen, all the way.
You remember everybody had this like anybody but Trump attitude.
That was me back in fucking 2016.
I was kind of on that train too. I looked at Facebook memories the other day, and God, I was giving Trump a lot of shit about this time 4 years ago.
Gary Johnson was calling him a pussy.
Yep.
Like 4 days ago. About 4 years ago, 4 days ago, 4 years and 4 days ago.
And
he called him a pussy.
I was all
and
in.
I fucking shared that shit, and I loved it.
I was all in on Gary Johnson, just like I was with Ron Paul before that.
Hashtag
Ron Paul.
Johnson.
Yep.
I was disenfranchised by the Democratic Party when it comes to Obama. I was a pretty hard lefty. Lynn, you can.
Yeah, he fucking sold me on Obama for a little bit. And then it was like 4 years of fucking nothing.
Now he won't listen to me about anything but liquor.
Yeah, and I was like, well,
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
he won't
Tisk,
listen to me
tisk.
about anything. So you
Yeah,
know why? Because he's my little brother, and little brothers don't
little
fucking
brothers
listen
don't.
about shit.
They
Ask
don't.
Brant. I haven't listened to a goddamn thing he ever said since he was like 12.
That's fair. That's fair. But
And
no,
Tom's a dick.
but looking at today's political climate, holy shit! I just can't imagine how none of us are sitting back and going, "Oh my god!" Like I want everybody. I know we don't have the viewership we had earlier, but those that are listening and paying attention,
All sexy, yeah.
you need to remember these days, because 30 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, hey, dude, you remember?
Remember?
You remember? You got member berries. Do you remember the Trump election seasons and how crazy shit got? I
Farm remembers.
I don't think he's a good candidate. I don't think he's an okay candidate, but I think Biden's such a shithole candidate. And Joe Jorgensen? Oh my.
Dude, I got people on
As
the
a
Facebook.
libertarian at heart, she is a disgrace.
I got people that are pimping her out on my Facebook feed, and I'm not drinking that.
Waste of
Kool-Aid.
time.
I'm just like, all right, no.
They picked the worst candidate
Really?
for a libertarian.
They got the stepmother. No, they got the mother from Step Brothers.
Yeah,
that's-
pretty much.
That's who she
pretty
is.
much.
She's like, yeah.
So
yeah, I'm
got-
super
I got-
disappointed. I don't know who
Yeah,
I'm going to
I'm
vote
with
for.
you.
I've kind of hinted where I'm probably
He's fucking
leaning.
Joe voting Trump. Shut up.
Probably leaning that way. I haven't bought my MAGA hat yet.
Yeah. Well, dude, I won't wear one in public. I don't want to get fucking.
I will. If
I
I
wanna get
decide to vote
shot.
for him, I will. I don't care.
Well, see,
Shoot me.
that and the fucking color scheme of the hat, it looks retarded. Let's be real.
Well, it's meant to stand out. Red
It's
is the
fucking-
most recognizable color.
Yeah, and it just says "Make America Great Again," and they fucking charge
You
you
ever-
$20 for a fucking $2 hat.
Well, yeah.
Fuck you! I ain't gonna buy that shit.
Well, dude, you buy a Nebraska hat for fucking $50.
But it's fucking
Oh,
sweet. It's
snap.
fucking all black. It's got the fucking. Do you see any red on
and
it?
it pays
It's black
for
and white.
it pays for university to
No, it pays for
indoctrinate
Amazon
children.
because Amazon's better than Walmart.
let me
What you
double
got,
back.
Big?
Let me double back quick
Sorry,
here.
just talking shit.
Mike Meek has said the only reason Biden hasn't said anything is because he's letting Trump
He's got
fuck himself
COVID.
because he says stupid shit. No, that's not the case. I'm sorry. The only reason Biden
Because
hasn't
he's
said anything is because he's
senile.
been too fucking feeble and senile to actually have a thought of his own. He's never going to take the stand against Trump. If he does, they will
Dude.
have surgically implanted him with a fucking microchip that allows somebody to
All
take
I'm
over his
saying-
thought process and speaking ability because he cannot debate Donald Trump. That will not
This is
end
gonna
well.
be-
They will find a way out of it, or it will be fucking over before it begins.
This is going to be
Biden
a
cannot
fucking
debate
train wreck,
Trump.
and it's
That
going to be
cannot happen.
fucking great. Fucking
Yeah, it's not gonna
debates
go
between
well.
Fucking, I am fucking completely excited to see debate. High five! Fuck yeah! Between Trump and fucking Biden debating on a fucking national level.
It's going to be the greatest
It's-
television we've
dude,
ever seen.
Dude,
It's going to be a
It's gonna be
disaster.
fucking
It's going to
tits.
be a disaster.
It's gonna be fucking sweet.
I don't need to hear.
gonna
I don't need to hear about Joe Biden's hairy legs when he was 18 years old.
Wait,
at the pool.
You don't want to
getting
hear
rubbed
you
down
don't wanna
by
hear
the.
this?
No,
Hold on. You don't want to hear this?
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I get it.
Because-
the Trump gaffes are
because
just
white
as bad.
kids
They're
aren't
just as
poor.
bad. The Trump gaffes are just as bad, but
Not as
Joe
racist.
Biden. Joe Biden has almost no control over what he's saying.
All right. What about the old quotes from like back in the 70s and shit when he was like,
didn't he just give a
integrating
eulogy?
schools? I know something about schools and like
Biden just
was
gave
going to
a-
turn our schools
Real
into
quick, Lynn.
jungles. Remember that fucking quote?
Yeah, the jungle thing. But he just gave a eulogy to a former congressman or senator. I can't remember exactly.
John
that
Lewis.
was it was a known KKK member.
Yeah.
No, that's not John Lewis. No. That
not
would
John
have
Lewis.
been
It was,
that would have been Robert Byrd. I thought you were-
Robert Byrd. He gave a eulogy to Robert Byrd, who dropped the N-word several times and even talked about white N-word several times. The audacity
of his caucasity.
But no, he gave a eulogy at that dude's funeral. Like,
Yeah.
he stood up for a white supremacist, and he's being touted
And
by
now-
the party that
Okay,
wants
hang
to
on.
call everything
Dude,
white
they were
supremacist.
Hang on,
And
hang
know,
on.
they said, you know what? Anything's better than Trump. And I'm
Hang
like,
on.
what, dude? What blatantly super fucking anti-black racist shit has Trump ever
There
said?
you go.
What?
There you go.
Has he said? Did he say? Did he say any of the shit that Biden said in the last 40?
So there you
years
go.
in his-
I literally just 2
He
days
said
ago
0.
watched a fucking. I literally
He
just
said
watched
some
2 days
shit
ago a
about-
clip
he
of
says
like
they're
an
bringing
African American
rapists.
community being like, "Thank you, Donald Trump, for unemployment rates and this and that, and being our president." And then you're talking about Joe Biden giving a eulogy at a KKK guy's funeral. So I'm sorry, I get
But
it.
that's their
People
guy.
want
That's
Trump out of
Joe-
office. They want Trump out of office. They think Joe Biden's going to be that guy. He's not that guy unless the fucking VP is an absolute home run. And after the caucuses, and we're almost in August, nobody's been named. There's not going to be a home run. It's not going to be a fucking slam dunk. And if he has to debate Donald Trump live without some crazy fucking microchip implanted in his fucking head, Weekend at Bernie's style, Joe Biden is going to get eaten a fucking alive. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to go well. And you know what? The election, it's still going to be close. But Joe Biden
does
will not
any-
win.
Who's got an idea who the vice president for Biden will be?
Kamala Harris.
Because do we have any predictions?
Kamala
yeah, so
Harris. It will be Kamala Harris.
Anybody
Phil's
but
predicted
Kamala Harris.
Because she got the surgery or what?
Well, no.
No, because it will kind of sort of make my prediction right. And if Biden drops out before the actual election, God, and here's the worst part, guys. When I was making that prediction, I was going to say, but I caught myself because I didn't want to will it to existence. But I was going to say Kamala Harris will be the president of the United States. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, little did I know. And so it looks like regardless, that might actually come to pass, especially if she's vice president, because this is sad. Biden voters, you have to come to the terms with the fact that you are walking into the polls knowing, I don't think this guy's even going to see the first term through. I don't even think he's going to make it that far. I'm just voting on the apparatus surrounding him. That's all you're like. So that's not
You're
leadership.
voting
you're
against
voting.
someone. You're voting.
Yeah, I mean,
you're
as
voting
long
for
as they
nobody.
give him enough applesauce, he might make it 2 years.
I'm sorry. This is hang on. This is playing with fire all over again. And I fucking brought this up before. But this to me feels so similar to that 2004 election where you could have put a monkey in a suit and it would have been John Kerry. It didn't fucking matter because people were voting for anybody but George Bush. They didn't care. They did not fucking care who the Democratic candidate was. They would have gotten the same amount of votes.
Still, Bush won.
whoever they put in that
Because
role.
Kerry was a butt puppet.
Exactly. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because they had
Everybody saw
nobody
through
to go
Kerry's
against the sitting
bullshit.
president.
He was like married to the
There you
Heinz
go.
ketchup lady, and he wasn't worth
He had
nothing,
nothing.
and he was
He
a
had
fucking
nothing.
moron. He's fucking, and he what?
He had
what
nothing.
did he do? Wakeboard? Or
He was a stand-in.
What did he do? He used to snowboard. That was his cool thing. Remember, like Clinton had
Yeah.
the fucking saxophone, so now everybody had the little.
No, he had
shtick?
3 Purple Hearts, Lynn.
So,
John
Yeah,
Kerry had
but
3
no.
Purple Hearts.
But he just did snowboarding, so and he looked like a fucking skeleton.
When you start voting against somebody, you're voting to get somebody out. You're playing a dangerous game. Like, you know what? It doesn't matter who we vote for because all that matters is to get that guy out.
then, by the way.
I can't agree with this sentiment. I'm sorry. If you want to vote for somebody, vote for them. If you want to vote against somebody,
later, Melanie.
Just don't
Later,
even
Mike.
fucking bother.
Thanks for stopping in the show, y'all. Later, Mike.
Yeah, I
you
think
for coming in.
we
Later,
need
Melanie.
to fucking start wrapping this up.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
looks like wrap up a 30.
Is so. Oh Jesus.
Oh Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. No, the God, I don't even know where I wanted to go with that. Like it just went off the rails so goddamn fast. As most things do. Let's wrap it up. They're all terrible candidates. Can we agree on that?
There we are.
Yeah, I'm still fine with that.
Chicken, may I?
Phil, do your thing.
All that being said, this has been Dog and Chicken Show, episode 52. Thank you, one and all, for joining us this evening for this amazing get-together, this celebration of all that can be. Please like, share, subscribe right here at the Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and go over and become a friend to Big Bucket Entertainment on Facebook. And you can like, share, subscribe me at KOE Nation on YouTube. Also, don't forget to check out Grip Paranormal and all the things upcoming there, and also the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast to see all the craziness that me and Tony produce and sometimes Chicken comes into. And thank you to Tom Foolery for coming in and lending us your ear so we could have us a really good time tonight, Tom. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're holding up tomorrow. And folks, thank you all for coming here. Thank you all for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe. Do what you got to do to stay notified. Keep us in your hearts and mind, and please bring it right back here to the Dog and Chicken Show for all the happenings of this crazy, crazy world we have. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only, the overacting Tony fucking G. Chicken. Take it away.
I got nothing else. Go ahead, guys. Thanks everybody.
Hey, go ahead, Lynn.
So, hey, I just want to say yes, like, share, subscribe, because you know what? That was fucking awesome. Thank you for that fucking wonderful fucking outro. It was beautiful. It came from the heart. We all believed in that. As far as Tom goes, what did I call him? Jesus Christ! I almost fucking tip of the tongue. It was the Toasty Tequila Tom.
Toasty
show.
Tequila Tom.
Toasty Tequila Tom, because Toasty was the way to go. And you know what, dude? He was a trooper. He made it almost like 3/4 of the fucking show. So let's give him a round of fucking applause, guys. Everybody.
Yes. For a non-drinker, he did
For a
good
non-drinker,
job.
he got fucked up.
Very nice.
And he became chauvinistic towards like a little bit towards the end. It was great.
It kind of sounded like
You
you.
sound like me, because like I don't give a shit. And you know what? You guys all have a lovely evening, and it's Thursday. Some of you motherfuckers got to work tomorrow. I don't. I just happen to have the day off, so fuck off. I don't care. You guys
Because you
have
got COVID.
No, I don't have COVID. I
just
just
say you
have
have
a
COVID.
fucking day off. So you know what? Other than that, thank you, Phil, for the fucking thoughts and wisdom that you guys, that you just like fucking just thought about for the whole week before this whole show even came to mind. You did the research. You did the You did all of the studying that is needed to get this whole show into perspective and to get everybody's mindset all into one.
Thank you, sir.
That was my promo. I was trying like shit to be as promo active as possible. But I'm gonna kick it off the chicken. Good night, motherfuckers.
Good night, motherfuckers. Hey, Tony, Phil, as always, appreciate you all coming on. God,
sorry.
we're watching a Joe Biden video.
Heavy breathing.
Appreciate y'all jumping on. Tony, Phil, always appreciate you. Call-in shows are something Phil and I have been talking about. Tony, I haven't talked to you about it much. I like the call-in show thought. And we've tested it a couple times. Maybe more to come on that. We'll do some call-in shows possibly.
Yes.
Yes. I like the viewer interaction. I love the comments, but talking to you is so much better, I think.
Yeah.
Like being able to hear your voice and hear your thoughts and to hear it's different when you see a text and you see somebody type something up and you're like, what do they mean by that? What was the context behind? But when you hear them talk, you can hear the tone in the voice. You can hear the influence of where they're coming from. So want to do more of those. Lynn, go ahead.
Let me hit up on that. All right. So say you want to call in, but you don't want anybody to know who you are. You can call in anonymous. You come in there and you just fucking voice your opinion.
Anonymous.
You can say your name is Joe Snuffy and you live at Buttport, Alabama. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just fucking just come in anonymous and just say what your opinion is. Just do it. Have some balls. Let's do this.
Yeah, what could go wrong with that? Yeah, Phil's absolutely right. As always,
anonymous.
We'll end it there, folks. As always, thanks for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Balls is right. Like, share, subscribe. As always, cheers, folks. Thanks for tuning in. As always, appreciate you. Love you. Bye.